And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. This is the Sports Cave. Your co-host, Robbie, along with my Oh, that's right. In case you guys forgot, right now, it's just me, myself, and I, solo riding till I die. Zach is down in the 305, having a damn good time. A lot of rhymes right there. I'd say that was pretty solid. Kind of basically talking to myself until someone joins in here in our live stream here. We're live on Twitch, live on YouTube, if you listen to Spotify or Apple Podcasts. So right now we're riding solo, folks, just for the time being.
Moment to salute you, the greatest fans in the world.
The number one fan of the Sports Cave in the world, my father. Thank you very much, Dad, for the subscription. Thank you. We are live here in living color. Lot to break down. Crazy weekend. We had the Elite Eight happening. What? Oh, just want to make sure you hear me, Blue. Perfect. Thank you, sir. We got the Elite Eight happening. Well, happened. We had MLB opening day. Happened. We had some returns in the NBA. That happened. We have some football news to break down. Good and some bad. And then this weekend, in case you're into some wrestling, we got WrestleMania weekend. We're on the final week on the road to WrestleMania. And to tune in later, once he's able to join in, we have, from Hot Shot Highlights, Michael Bose will be joining us live. Travis Stas is questionable. He's been dealing with some sort of sickness. But Bose should be joining us around 7:30, 7:45 time. Well, let me tell you something, brother. I'm going to tell you something, Hulkamaniacs. I may be walking around the cane while my son's getting DUIs in the state of Florida, but you bet I'll be in Philadelphia, brother. Ain't that right? We'll see. We're going to break all that down later on in the show once Bose gets a chance to join in. Lot of different ways we could open up the show here. Lots to talk about. But I figure since I see Ploufs in here, and I figure since I see my father in here, and I'm a little disappointed that a couple of my UConn fans ain't in here yet, but let's talk about the UConn Huskies taking down Illinois in the Elite Eight. 1 point, the game was tied at 23. UConn went on a 5-0 run to end the first half. They looked a little bit dicey in the first half, came out in the second half, freaking dominating. And honestly, let's talk about him. Mr. Donovan Clingan. What a performance by this guy, and just further proving that to the point that I've been saying that this kid is absolutely, no doubt in my mind, NBA ready. This kid is ready for the NBA. I don't know how you can look at his performance. You look at maybe the bad performance he had against St. John's, and if you're still holding on to that grudge, you need to pay attention to what this kid's been doing since the Big East Championship game. This kid not only is impacting, in the paint with blocks and finishing at the rim, the guy had a couple steals too for his length and size. He was awesome. He's been absolutely phenomenal. And with this impressive play thus far, a lot of the mock drafts that have put out there, he's the number 3 pick projected. He's a lottery pick. He's top 10. He's been incredible. Just a kid from Bristol, Connecticut. What the hell do we have to look forward to from Connecticut anymore? George Springer with the Toronto Blue Jays? I mean, he's a good player, don't get me wrong. Borderline all-star. This kid, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Rudy Gobert's not a bad ceiling to have. Okay? Will this kid ever be a Joel Embiid, a Karl Anthony Towns? No. I don't think he'll ever be that elite center in the NBA. But if you could put him in the categories with some of the best defensive centers in the NBA, like Rudy Gobert, Jared Allen, Nicholas Claxton, Brook Lopez, that's not bad company to be with. Because those 4 guys I mentioned there are definitely top 15, if not definitely top 20, if not top 15. It all depends where he goes at the end of the day, too. He's not going to be working out in college, working on his perimeter defense. So he's like, well, if he stays 1 more year, he can work on his perimeter defense. No, because at the end of the day, if he's sticking around in college, he's sticking around to win a championship. So Dan Hurley is going to utilize where he dominates the most. If he goes to the NBA, he'll be able to work on a three-point shot, on his perimeter defense, on his quickness of feet. What the hell is that sound? Oh, I hear the trash barrels being brought up. I'm just absolutely confused what the hell's going up. TJ, good job, TJ. Good job. Everyone give a round of applause to TJ. Good job. But outside of Donovan Clingan, is it me? But if you weren't a UConn fan, is Cam Spencer probably not the most unlikable player if you're not a UConn? I obviously love him for obvious reasons. But this edge that this guy brings and the way he celebrates on his opponents, even if it's just a regular fist bump and how loud he is, that guy's got to irk you a lot if you're the opposing team or opposing fan base. Let's go over the box score here. And I'll let you guys see what I'm looking at for the box score once I switch it over here. We're going to share this tab instead, and we're going to hit this button here. Boom. All right, let's take a look at the box score here. Let's look at Donovan Clingan immediately. In 22 minutes, as you can see, 22 minutes. Missed a three-point shot. Obviously, there was 2 points left on the shot clock in the second half. Hoisted it, and it missed. 50% from the free throw line, which is kind of what he's been all season. You know what you're going to get. One of two most instances. 10 rebounds, 22 points, 5 blocks, and 3 steals. Meanwhile, Tristan Newton didn't have a good game whatsoever shooting from the field. Glad it happened now, and hopefully he can pick it up in the Elite Four. Cam Spencer, 11 points, 1 of 3 from 3, 4 of 9 from the field. Caravan, although he was dicey from 3, he was finishing inside, converting on the N1s. Offensively, it wasn't the best game for the UConn Huskies. But then why don't you go down here, folks? Look at Mr. Diarra, huh? Diarra, 11 points off the bench, 25 minutes off the bench. That's what I'm saying about this UConn team. That's what I've been trying to tell everybody, is that they have a great starting lineup. They're right there originally with North Carolina, before Kansas unfortunately got hurt, with, hell, you can put Duke in the equation as well, Purdue. But a lot of these top teams in the nation right there, UConn don't have what they do. They have depth off the bench, whether it's Diarra, whether it's Johnson. They have options. And the one thing I love that Dan Hurley did, towards the end of the season, was mixing up Donovan Clingan with Johnson, putting Diarra in for Newton and for Castle and for Spencer so they can work on these rotations in case there's foul trouble in the tournament. Luckily, knock on wood, foul trouble hasn't been a big problem for the UConn Huskies. Knock on that goddamn wood just to be sure. An impressive win against Illinois. A 30-0 run is completely unbelievable. And, man, when Illinois finally hit that layup, that sarcastic clap from both fan bases. It wasn't even just the UConn faithful. Illinois. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. When it came down to Illinois or Iowa State, you were either going to face Illinois, who is the best defensive team in the nation, or Iowa State, who I believe was the second best offensive team in the nation. And to win that game as convincingly as UConn did basically says, it doesn't matter who's in our way. We are going to run right through you with what we got. Before I keep going on and on about how great the players were, I got to give credit where credit's due. I have doubted this guy the last couple years. It wasn't long ago, after an embarrassing loss, I believe, to Villanova during the regular season, he said, enjoy it while you can, because I'm going to tell you something. We're coming. And when we come, there ain't no stopping us. Dan Hurley has completely flipped what I thought he was going to be for the UConn Huskies. Dan Hurley is an incredible coach. And you know what? A lot of times in these halftime interviews, when they're up by 8 to 12 points or whatever, he's never satisfied. Even against Stetson, they were up by 20 at half. He wasn't satisfied. And that's what you need. Look at the teams that are left in the Final Four. Disciplined coaches. Their way or the highway. How's Bill Self in Kansas doing? How's John Calipari in Kentucky doing? How's Arizona doing? Houston, how are they doing? The disciplined teams will make a run every year in the tournament. It's very rare you see the player-friendly coaches make a run, especially in college. There's a major lack in maturity. But these guys, they bought into Dan Hurley. They continue to do so. He makes them work their asses off more so in practice to prepare even better for the games. You absolutely dread practice, but when you get to the games, you're completely prepared under his realm. He's been incredible. When I picked UConn to win, again, I'm going to keep saying this. It wasn't out of bias. After what I saw last year with Dan Hurley, and I anticipate a pretty quick exit from the UConn Huskies like it was when they had James Bouknight, he completely flipped what I thought he would be. He is an elite college basketball coach, if not the greatest right now in college. Not the greatest of all time, greatest in college right now. All right, before I go on this big UConn talk here, let's give the boys some credit. They end up winning the game 77-52 against Illinois. Later on that day, an amazing run came to an end at the Elite Eight as we see our good Clemson Tigers. This ain't college football. This is college basketball. Clemson Tigers going down to the Alabama Crimson Tide 89-82. Well, Alex isn't in here in the chat. He convinced me, for a guy that very rarely pays attention to college basketball like that. Don't you ever sit there when the season starts like, I'm going to pay as close attention as possible because I'm going to make sure I have the best bracket so I can win some money and so I got bragging rights and maybe I'll have the perfect bracket. And then after like a week, you're kind of like, okay, this is too much to catch up with. I had no idea what the hell was going on with Clemson whatsoever this season. I believe the last time they made the Elite Eight, Larry Nance Sr. was on the team in the late 70s, early 80s. That is absolutely incredible, the run that they had. And unfortunately, it comes to an abrupt end against the Alabama Crimson Tide. Last year, Alabama was definitely a team to watch to win the whole tournament. They lose their best, outside of the whole murder thing that was happening last year, including their star player who's now in the Charlotte Hornets and Brandon Miller, elects to go to the NBA draft, the number 2 pick to the Charlotte Hornets. There is very minimal talk about Alabama. I haven't really heard a peep about Alabama. If I heard anybody in the SEC this year for college basketball, it wasn't Alabama. It was Auburn. Auburn was a team everybody was saying is going to put up the best performance out of everybody in the SEC. Well, Alabama gets a rematch. As they defeat Clemson, they go on to take the UConn Huskies. I don't know if they played in the tournament last year, but I do remember there was a tournament out there in the West Coast in which Alabama and UConn played in the finals, in which UConn won, Donovan Clingan winning the Player of the Tournament award, coming off the bench for UConn as Adama Sanogo was a starter. Do you think this Alabama Crimson Tide team is going to come unprepared for this game? I honestly am hoping that UConn blows them out. However, I got to go with my mind and not my heart and say to myself, there's a good chance Alabama can make us sweat this game out. There is a very, very good chance. And you all got to just look at if you remember the box score I showed you for that game against UConn faced against Illinois. Tristan Newton shooting 0 of 6. Stephen Castle, I think, shot 1 of 6, 1 of 7. Clingan had a great game. Spencer had a solid game. DR had a great game off the bench. If you're going to take down Alabama, you shouldn't be relying on your bench. Newton's got to step it up. Castle's got to step it up. Caravan's got to step it up. Clingan's got to stay steady. Cam Spencer's got to hit at least 50% of his threes. That's what it's going to take to take down Alabama. Ryan! Is this Ryan or is this Theo? Ladies and gentlemen, in the chat right now, this ain't no April Fools. This is the real deal. Ryan's son, Theo, is 2 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get a happy birthday to Theo in the chat, please? Happy birthday, Theo. Uncle Robbie loves you, buddy. And I hope you have a great birthday. And I hope it is filled with a lot of cocoa melon. Happy birthday, buddy. Thanks for tuning in, Ryan. So, Clemson, their season is now over. A great run to the Elite Eight. Alabama, UConn will face off on Saturday and Sunday. I mean, we'll save that one for last. Let's talk about this one. Zach Edey. Eddie? I don't fucking know. The tall son of a bitch from Purdue puts up 40 of the 72 points for the Boilermakers. 40 points. 13 of 21 from the field. Unfortunately, this is what's going to worry me if UConn faces them in the finals. 22 free throws. 22 free throws. He made 14 of them. 40 points, 16 rebounds, only a block and 1 steal. I watched that game. When there's a mismatch and the guy is 6'10", 6'9", barely 7 foot, it's easy for him to dominate. Let me tell you something, folks. If this guy is going one-on-one with Clingan, both of them are going to get shut down. It's going to come down to guard play. It will come down to guard play. If I remember correctly, it essentially came down at the half between Knecht and Eddie for their total points or field goal attempts made, whatever the bullshit was. I mean, as you can see here, Tennessee shot 39% from the field, 42 from three. Purdue wasn't making their threes whatsoever, but they shot 45% from the field, but a lot of that has to do with him. I mean, look at this. 4 of 12, 3 of 6 is good. In 36 minutes, that's pretty goddamn impressive. 38%. I mean, I just have a hard time believing Purdue can win the. I am shocked, I will say, that they made it to the Final Four, because it's like what Zach said when it comes to Purdue and Arizona. They both are major choke artists like Lisa Ann her prime. And he wasn't lying. But in this case, they made to the Final Four, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, and he only committed, Yeah, and he only committed 1 foul while drawing 15. Yeah. I don't know. I saw a thing with Barstool that they put out there on Twitter that it seems like he gets, obviously a different treatment. It's just like any NBA superstar. They get the different treatment. He's a superstar for college basketball. He's going to get the different treatment. The one thing I did see on Twitter that really had me like, whoa. So this dude is 7'4". Let's look at his bio here. Let's see. Here it is. All right. So this guy is, thank you, by the way, ESPN. Hopefully I don't get shut down for using their website. Zach Edey, 7'4", 300 pounds, from Toronto, Canada. This guy, Ryan, no, stop that. Those bits should be going towards Theo's cake, his birthday presents, or his diapers when you're going to change that poopy ass once he's done eating his birthday cake. All right? Save that for Theo. But I appreciate it, Meatloaf. Thank you. This guy, one of his teammates is celebrating the camera selfie. You just hear him come out and say, I got a boner right now. I'm going to see if I can find the fucking video because I couldn't believe what I heard. It's like 5:15 in the morning. I'm just trying to wake up in the parking lot at work, and I just hear, I got a boner. I got to see if I can find this fucking video. One sec. There it is. You fucking ready for this, bro? Share this tab instead. 1 second. Here we go. Like, what the fuck? You could have said anything else to, show your excitement. I got a boner. Oh, shit. Cheers. Holy fuck. I couldn't believe it. They move on to the Final Four. Not to visualize, too. He's 7'4" and he has a boner. Oh, boy. Oh, jeez. Holy malarkey. All right. Last and final game. This is either the second or the third time that they faced off, but as it pertains to tournaments, this is the second time they faced off. NC State versus Duke. North Carolina State got Duke in the ACC tournament. They face off in the Elite Eight, and the winner, shockingly, not that. Somebody clip that, please. That was a great fucking blooper. We're talking NC State and Duke. I still have the whole thing up where it just says, I got a boner. Oh, God. Okay. This should be the right one now. Eureka. NC State wins 76-64. They take down the Duke Blue Devils. DJ Burns, absolutely incredible. 29 points, overall. Flipowski, who is the biggest bitch as it pertains to college basketball and the biggest whining pussy in college basketball, put up the biggest pussy performance, 3 at 12 from the field, 11 points. Normally it's not nice to talk about college students like that, but let me tell you, so when this guy fakes the injuries that he has, and then does this windmill dunk after crying about the whole court storming thing, and then a couple games later trying to trip a player going up the court doing his best Grayson Allen impersonation, then he's a pussy. Yep. Going to leave it at that. NC State advances to the Final Four. Let's be honest here, okay? There was not enough coverage on this NC State team after winning that tournament, if I can be completely honest. This team is rolling into the Final Four. Dad, you're a historian of college basketball. When's the last time they made it to the Final Four under Jimmy V? It's been a very, very long time that we've seen NC State with some sort of success. The only player in the NBA right now that comes to the top of my head from North Carolina State is Dennis Smith Jr. They don't produce that much NBA talent. How the hell did they get to where they are now? Well, I'll tell you what. We're looking at DJ Burns here. Mr. Burns, once again, 29 points. And you would look at that and you'd say to yourself, well, maybe he's raised a stock for the NBA. Maybe he could become a second-round pick if he wasn't projected to be a first. No. DJ Burns isn't even getting looked at to go to the NBA. DJ Burns is getting a lot of calls from the NFL. And could you blame them? DJ Burns here. I want a bigger. DJ Burns, 6'9", 275 pounds. I mean, that dude could be a tank on the O-line or D-line, huh? 1983 is the last time they made it to the Final Four. And they had to be under Coach V, if I'm not mistaken. Holy shit. NC State takes down Duke. And now, as I take a sip of my beer, if I'm not mistaken, the number one recruit coming out of high school, Mr. Cooper Flagg, as it pertained to his final 2 schools where he was going to go to next year, Duke or UConn, he elected to go to Duke. And if I'm not mistaken, Cooper Flagg's mother and Donovan Clingan's mother both played basketball professional, or I think it was college and professionally together, if I'm not mistaken, but they definitely played basketball together at the collegiate level. So he had a chance to possibly reunite with Donovan Clingan if Donovan Clingan wasn't going to go to the NBA. We don't know what that situation is, but we know that he's going to Duke. Are we sure that... I want to make sure, is he sure? Are you sure he made the right decision with the Duke Blue Devils? I'm sorry. There's no reason in my mind, the Duke talent compared to the NC talent, there's no reason in my mind that Duke should have won this game 76-64. Another embarrassing loss for the Blue Devils in this tournament. Embarrassing. How do you... I don't know how they ever bounce back the following year. How are you going to, even with Cooper Flagg? I mean, Cooper Flagg's going to be a one and done. This guy is so high. I think the hype around this guy has been since Zion. When Zion had his hype and then he elected to go to Duke out of high school. That's the hype that this Cooper Flagg kid's got. But what does Cooper really want? Is Duke going to showcase his potential better for the NBA? Or do you think UConn be the better chance? May not showcase the best of it. I mean, he'll get showcased pretty well with a chance to win a national championship. I guess that's what we're going to have to look at these recruits now is if they elect to not go to a UConn or a Kansas, if they're looking to go to a Kentucky and to a Duke, is it mainly for NBA or is it for national championship? We'll find out. All right. So that's it for the Elite 8 recap. So now the time has come. Saturday, April 6th, night 1 of WrestleMania, which again, we'll break down once Bose comes on. Night 1 of WrestleMania is also our final 4 games. And just in case you're wondering, folks, what the cheapest ticket is right now to go to Phoenix, Arizona at Glendale, Arizona Stadium. Glensdale, Arizona, State Farm Stadium. You might see Jake from State Farm there. Maybe Jake with the khakis. The cheapest ticket to sit all the way at the goddamn top is $346. Anybody got a small loan that I could, potentially get? If anybody wants the Powerball, please think of me. If you go out there, please think of me. I would love to join along. So here we go. First game. Obviously, UConn's up top because they're listed my favorites. They're not the first game. The first game, Purdue, North Carolina State. 6:09 specific. TBS. They will face off at 6:09. Purdue comes out as 8.5-point favorites over NC State. Listen, this run by NC State has been absolutely incredible. They've beaten North Carolina, they've beaten Duke, and they've beaten everybody else that's gotten their goddamn way throughout this tournament. I don't know if DJ Burns is going to be able to contain Mr. Eddie. That dude, I know Burns is 6'9", 275. He's going up against a guy 6 inches taller than him at 7'4", 300 pounds, and he's been dropping buckets in this tournament. I don't think they're going to be able to stop him. And for those reasons, you have to go with Purdue. I will be rooting for NC State hard, but I think it'll be Purdue going to the national championship. And then the last one here. The UConn Huskies. Go away, Pat McAfee. You incredible stud, you. The UConn Huskies, the Alabama Crimson Tide. 35-3, which I believe is now a school record. 35 wins in a single season, I believe, is now the new school record. 35-3 versus 25-11. UConn comes out as 11.5-point favorites. I honestly think Alabama will cover that 11.5. But you bet your sweet fucking ass. I've been saying it since the start of college, and I'm saying it now, April 1st. It ain't no April Fool joke. It's the bottom line because I fucking said so. The UConn Huskies will go on to take on Purdue in the national championship game, which will be live Monday. Unfortunately, a very late time because college basketball is stupid. It will be a 9:20 start time. I will probably go to bed at 1 a.m. I will probably be exhausted that Tuesday work. I probably will go in. I'm probable that everybody in my job will be staying up for that game, and we will all be tired that Tuesday. But it's for a good cause because the UConn Huskies will win the Final Four game on Saturday, and they will kick Purdue's ass. They will beat the shit out of them next Monday. UConn. UConn. Let's fucking go. Come on, boys. That's an 8:49 start time, by the way. Okay. All right. The blood's flowing. The energy's there. The electricity is there. I'm fucking ready for some UConn basketball. Are you folks ready for some UConn basketball? Well, you're going to have to wait till Saturday. All right. Let's keep it within basketball. That's the recap there for our little NCAA, and I guess I'll close it out with a little bit of the NCAA music, if you don't mind. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. We do have the Lady Huskies tonight. You're absolutely right. And if I'm not mistaken, Dad, UConn has both the men's and the ladies left in the tournament, and North Carolina State has both the men's and the ladies left in the tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Is UConn taking on NC State tonight? I know. Honestly, I'm happy we do the show on a consistent basis, all right, every Monday, but I never thought I'd say this. I really want to watch women's college basketball right now. When that game comes on, it's on right now. LSU versus Iowa. We're going to have Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. Iowa comes out as 2.5-point favorites. LSU definitely took a step back compared to last season. There's been a lot of drama involved with the coaching and Angel Reese. And no one will forget the you can't see me to Caitlin Clark and pointing at the ring finger in her face, essentially. This is a game that it's going to suck that I'm going to miss. If you get a chance to listen to me blabble on about sports, if your TV is not occupied that right now with Iowa versus LSU. This is going to be a hell of a game. seriously, I'm missing out on a good one. So UConn will be taking on USC. I'll tell you what, I'm really proud of these UConn ladies for making as far as they did, because they sustained, I think, 2 major injuries to their squad. Beckers, who's coming off the torn ACL, has been balling out this tournament run, which is huge, because clearly this girl was supposed to be the best player in college basketball, though she is completely surpassed by Miss Clark out there. Must be some with the last name Clark, you know. Tune into that game if you get a chance to. All right. We're going to get into the NBA here. NBA. Well, Sixers fans, rejoice. Take a deep breath, because he's back. Joel Embiid, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, as of today, Joel Embiid is expected to return tomorrow against the Oklahoma City Thunder after surgery on his left meniscus. All they had to do was hold on. They just had to hold on with the tightest fucking lock in the vice grip to stay within the standings. Well, it ain't going to come easy right now. They are now 7 games are left in the NBA regular season, are the 8th seed. They got to stay at the 8 or the 7, because right now they are faced to set off Miami in the play-in tournament. And if they do lose that game, they get another chance. Whereas they drop down to the 9, where the Chicago Bulls are 4 games out. There's still 7 games left. Anything can happen. They are 4 games out of the 8th spot. 1 loss against the Atlanta Hawks, who have taken down the Sixers in the playoffs in the past, could end your whole season, and this will be a catastrophic bust for the 76ers, and it could potentially be the end of Joel Embiid, which I predicted before the season, and I'm sticking with that he will not be a Philadelphia 76er next year. Where he will go is to be determined, but I don't think it will be with Philadelphia next year. They just don't have the proper assets around him. Now, Tyrese Maxey's very good, but don't you think after a while it gets tiring when you're going through all these players? You went through Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, James Harden. It gets tiring after a while when they can't find the right pieces. When you see some of the right pieces are in a place like Miami with Jimmy Butler, with Tyler Hero, with Bam Adebayo. Well, Bam would probably get shipped off, but we see what Miami could do with just Jimmy Butler alone. Then they bring in Joel Embiid. There's a good chance they win a championship. That's one destination. A second destination where you can fit in well, the New York Knicks. Seriously, I mean, this New York Knicks team, with the absence of Julius Randle, hasn't lost a step. So you replace Julius Randle with Joel Embiid, they gain a step, and they gain momentum to a potential NBA championship run. There's a lot of places that will suit Joel Embiid better than Philadelphia, and Philadelphia will be starting all over from square one again. The process will have failed. Jahlil Okafor, Nerlens Noel, Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, it will all be gone. But for the time being, because I don't want to talk too negative about the Sixers, even though your fan base is very toxic and you're a bunch of dirty scumbags, he's coming back tomorrow. You guys have a chance. You have a chance. That was nice, right? All right. Ryan, since you're here, let me just make you a little bit stiff down there, buddy. You'll be happy to hear this one, Ryan. You ready? First, a sip of the beer, because we are toasting to the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks are now on a 7-game winning streak. 7 games consecutively, obviously. No shit, Robbie. 7 games consecutively. A 7-game fucking win streak, you idiot. Let me see who these opponents are that the Dallas Mavericks have been taking down, huh? Let's see. So in the last 7 games, they have taken down the Houston Rockets, who were at one point on a tremendous roll. I believe that they got to as far as 10 games, as they were right there in the hunt for the number 10 seed with the Golden State Warriors. They defeated the Rockets, the Sacramento Kings twice, once by 4 and the other one a final score of 132-96. You bent them over and spanked them with the wooden paddle like a little bitch. Holy shit. Wow. Excuse me. Then the Utah Jazz twice, once at home, once on the road. Then on the road against the Spurs, you beat the Nuggets. That's when it all started. And prior to that, your loss was against OKC, 126-119. But you won 4 games prior to that against Golden State, Chicago, Detroit, Miami. So realistically, out of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, out of the last 12 games, they're 11-1. 11-1. And how does this happen? Well, I'll tell you what. Two things. One, they did a great job at the trade deadline. PJ Washington has been an incredible addition, and he's playing his game with the Dallas Mavericks, vice versa, trying to fit in where he could over there in Charlotte, where it was him and Miles Bridges, and Charlotte trying to figure out what they're going to do with LaMelo and Terry Rozier and Brandon Miller. It's a little bit of a clusterfuck over there in Chicago. It's good, or Charlotte. It's good he's got out of there. By the way, in case you guys didn't see, Charlotte Hornets starting center tonight isn't Miles Bridges. Their starting center tonight is Grant Williams. And that's what the Mavs gave away to get PJ Washington return. What a fucking win. What a win for the Dallas Mavericks. And the second thing brings me to sadness to say this. Kyrie Irving. You know what you're going to get from Luka every single night, folks. Obviously, he's the main propeller. You know what you're going to get from him every single night. Mavericks fans definitely held their breath a little bit. We all know what Kyrie Irving could do when he's on the court. He is the most gifted offensive player in NBA history. Great handles, finishing at the rim, scoring at every degree of difficulty. He can do it all. He is so prolific offensively. And when he's playing, it's a difference. It's a major difference. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that game that they beat the Denver Nuggets was that incredible left-handed hook shot from nearly college basketball three-point range over Nikola Jokic for the win. And that's the reason why the Mavericks are doing so well. I'll tell you what, I was really questioning Jason Kidd's status as the head coach for the Dallas Mavericks next season. He's going to be fine. He's going to be A-okay. And with the way Luka and Kyrie are performing together, you can't tell me there's not a chance that they can bring in one more nice asset to fill that bunch together and make a run for the NBA championship next season. I don't think it'll happen this year, but next season. And in case you didn't know, Luka is leading the league in scoring right now. I believe he's averaging over 34 points per game, damn near averaging a triple-double. I said it in the beginning of the season in my preseason predictions. It should become a thing. Luka Doncic should be the MVP of basketball. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He should be the MVP. You need a center. Come on, Joel. Well, Ryan, maybe there's a chance. We'll see what happens. So with the way Luka's been playing and how many games he's played this year, if he is to sign an extension when this season ends with the Dallas Mavericks, this is no bullshit. The max deal he could sign for. Ryan, you ready? The max deal that Mr. Doncic could sign for 5 years. It's a 5-year max deal. 5 years. $364 million. That comes out to a total of $72.8 million. Cha-ching! 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 This NBA money is going to start getting crazy. I mean, it's already crazy enough that Jaylen Brown's making more than Jason Tatum over $60 million a year. And Luka could be in for nearly $73 million. Wow.
You just made the list.
He made the list, all right. He made the fucking money list, is what Luka Doncic did. All right. So we talked about last show, Russell Westbrook returning for the Clippers and how big it could potentially be. Well, it's a big deal because the Clippers started a new winning streak once again, 3 games in a row. As they have taken down the Hornets, they've taken down the Magic, and they've taken down the Sixers. And when I was watching that game while I was bowling last Wednesday, Clippers were down by, I think, 15 at one point within the first half, and they come back and win. And one of the viral videos, let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find that video really quick. You'll Brian and Marcus, you'll probably love this. Kelly Oubre. Spell his name right. Yeah, I ain't gonna be fine. This motherfucker's name correctly. So Kelly Oubre definitely showed his frustrations towards the officials after that game, but they looked at it as a review later on throughout the night, which should have been called as a shooting foul on Paul George, went as a no whistle, and because of that, they ended up losing the game by a final score of 108 to 107. To the Los Angeles Clippers. Here it is. One second. Share this tab instead. It was much easier because Zach could always take over for these parts, but it's just me, myself, and I right now. Here it is.
From away, those are two drives to the basket for Oubre that the Sixers thought was contact. From away, those are two drives to.
He pointed all three officials. He said, "You're a bitch. You're a bitch. You're a bitch." Definitely showed some sort of frustration towards the bad call, but eventually he came out and he apologized. It was heat of the moment. I don't think he's received any sort of fine. He should. I'm so tired of fines after these guys express how they feel towards the bad officiating. So they take down the Sixers, then they take down the Magic, and they kill the Hornets. The rest of the schedule here, they have the Kings, the Nuggets, the Jazz, the Cavs, 2 times versus the Sun, the Jazz, and the Rockets. And when I take a look at the standings here for the NBA, the Clippers are now 5 games out of first place. It doesn't look like they're going to lock that up. Russell Westbrook coming back is a major factor because this guy accepted once they brought up James Harden, like, all right, I'll ride the bench. I'll go off with the bench unit and make shit happen. And he has made it happen. He's been very valuable. He's been the most valuable player off the bench, obviously, in the NBA this season. I still think Russ has some years left in where he could be a starter. He ain't the Russ that he once was. He definitely can't hit the three-point shot like he once could in his time in OKC. But when he drives for him, you better get out of the way because that's a bulldozer coming at you. And it's a shame that Steve's not here to listen to this because I'm sure he'd be soiling himself right now. But him coming back is a massive deal because if there's no Russell Westbrook for the playoffs, then the Clippers ain't going to make any sort of noise. With Russell Westbrook back, if James Harden could show some sort of consistency in the playoffs, if not, he's been handing the ball off to Paul George and Kawhi, let him do their thing. Although Paul George has been kind of on and off, Kawhi's been doing his thing. It's going to come down to a matter of coach. It's going to come down to Ty Lue making those tough decisions in the playoffs. If Paul George is performing, you got to put Russ in. If James Harden isn't performing, you got to put Russ in. If he's not performing, then it's Eric Gordon, then it's Terrence Mann. Like it's going to come down to Ty Lue for the reason why the Clippers can make a run for the NBA championship. I want to talk about a team that's really disappointing me, but before I do that, folks, I need another beer. Anybody else drinking tonight, or am I the only one drinking? I get that it's fucking Monday, but come on, join in with me. Come on. We're springtime, baby. We're springtime. Crack open a cold one. Come on. Well, a team that I thought was going to win the West ain't even fucking close to winning the West. And that is the Phoenix Suns, sitting at 43-31. I don't know how I was so blind to this. Everybody knows that Kevin Durant is arguably my favorite player in the NBA for obvious reasons. He was a Brooklyn Net. Damn it. But let's be honest here. I mean, in October, I was so blind to the fact that they have Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Yusuf Nurkic, Bradley Beal, that I thought maybe they brought in one piece off the bench, maybe one piece to get for their bench or 2 pieces, they could be the best team in the NBA. Well, they're not, because I don't get to watch a lot of Suns basketball games, but who the hell's a point guard? Bradley Beal? Bradley Beal's never been that type of player since college at his time in Florida. He's been a bucket getter. He's not a create for other type of guy. Give him the ball and let him go to work. But the problem is they're all like that. Although Kevin Durant could do that and he could facilitate, you're not getting the best version of Kevin Durant when you're doing that. And Kevin Durant is a top 5 player in the NBA. I think when Kevin Durant made the decision to go to the Suns, it was a little premature. They ain't got no point guard. They shipped off Chris Paul. They shipped off Cameron Payne. And that's what's been the downfall for this Phoenix Suns team, is the inability to have someone run the point and facilitate the offense. They're the 8th seed. For a right reason. They're in the play-in tournament. They could be out. This would be the biggest failure in NBA history, arguably. bringing in Kevin Durant during the trade deadline last year, bringing in Bradley Beal during the offseason, firing Monty Williams to bring in Frank Vogel, an NBA champion head coach, and to get knocked out in the play-in tournament, that would not look good, my friends. Not good one bit. Not good. They're sitting 8th. Massive disappointment? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I get it that the West is super close when we take a look at the standings here. Let me load that up for you folks. So we take a look at the standings here. Houston is still somewhat in it, trying to get into that 10th spot to take out the Warriors. Warriors are on a 4-game winning streak right now. They separate them, the two teams, by 2 games. You got the Lakers. They're 10.5 out of first place. Then you got the Kings and the Suns tied 9 games out from first place. Then you got the Mavericks and the Pelicans 7 games out. The Clippers 5. The T-Wolves 1. The Nuggets by half a game, and OKC has the top. So I've gotten a lot of criticism about not talking about this team all season long because I haven't. We haven't really talked about this team, and it's time to talk about them. The Oklahoma City Thunder. Listen, we saw Shai Gilgeous-Alexander take that next step last season as he's continued it through this season. The biggest X factor for this season for OKC was going to be Chet Holmgren. Now, let me see if I can load up his offensive numbers, because when you look at his defensive numbers, he obviously leads the team in rebounding, 7.9 points per game. The 2.4 blocks per game was kind of to be expected, if I'm completely honest here. But he's been doing pretty good if he's going to be a number 2 or number 3. More like a number 3 weapon, it looks like, with OKC. 16.6 points per game on 53% from the field. We know what Chet can do. We've seen his time at Gonzaga. We know what he can do. But this is where I worry about OKC. Let's go back to the standings really quick. So you look at the standings here. Come on, bitch. Load, motherfucker. Oh, it's because the thing's still loading. There we go. So the bottom 2 teams right here. The bottom 2 teams here. Whoever wins that game right there will automatically be the number 7 seed. If the season were to end today. The 7 and the 8 face off. Whoever wins that game automatically is the number 7 seed. Now, if the Lakers beat the Warriors beat the Lakers, they battle the Suns or the Kings, whoever loses that game, to become the 8 seed. So let's say for ha-has, the Suns beat the Kings and the Lakers beat the Warriors. So then you got the Kings and the Lakers, and the Lakers win that game. The Lakers become the 8 seed to take on OKC. And I got breaking news for you folks. Out of those 4 teams for the Thunder, the team that they definitely don't want to face is the Los Angeles Lakers. Chet Holmgren won't be able to do nothing if Anthony Davis is guarding him. Anthony Davis has a whole foot on him. Well, not a whole foot. Jesus Christ. What am I fucking saying? He's got at least 30 pounds in him of muscle. Chet ain't the strongest guy. Not by any means necessary. And if he goes up against Anthony Davis and it's LeBron James versus Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who else is going to step up for the Thunder? Jalen Williams, potentially? D'Angelo Russell's been incredible. There's so many if, ands, or buts. But the fact of the matter is, I would take the Clippers or the Lakers to take down OKC. All right. Well, folks, it's that time. He's here. He's waiting. Let's welcome him in, Mr. Bose. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Robbie. What's up, man?
What up, man? So we are currently live right now on YouTube and on Twitch right now with the Sports Cave, but this is quite the merge we're going to have going here, bud.
I'm having a little issue with my my headset here. You can't hear out of here.
So is there a settings thing at the bottom there on your thing?
Let me check.
We'll set this up in real time, folks.
Real time here. Nah. Doesn't say. It's all good. I could hear you. But
Right. I just want to make sure we get everything working pretty good here.
I just don't want you to hear the echo through the iPad, because I'm using my iPad.
Oh, you're using your iPad.
Yeah. I mean, microphone's still working, so.
It's not. Poke on your microphone really quick. Yeah, it's coming out. It's coming out of your iPad.
Great. That sucks. Gotta figure this out somehow, some way. I mean,
Here,
everything's.
I'm going to finish up this little bit of NBA talk I had. If you could try to figure that
Sure.
out, you think? All right, buddy. So let me see if I can just hide this. If anything, yep, there we go. Okay, perfect. Sorry, folks. So one more thing I had left in the NBA really quickly here. I think I saw it over there on Twitter. I don't have it written down. Oh, it appears that Julius Randle might not be making a return this year for the New York Knicks. Josh Hart has come out and basically, not only him, but OG Anunoby, he basically came out and said, probably in their podcast, that he doesn't expect Randle or Anunoby to return. And that's a major blow when the playoffs come. Anunoby, the second he joined the Knicks, he made immediate impacts. Knicks fans were traumatized by the trade because you're moving on from RJ Barrett, who's the number 3 pick, and Emmanuel Quickley. I initially thought that the Knicks got fleeced in that trade because we saw what Quickley was doing as a 6-man. We see what RJ Barrett could do in the past. And it seemed like RJ was making that next step, and a lot of that had to do with the NBA or the 8 FIBA, whatever the fuck it's called, World Championship going on, where he was the best player on Canada by far, leading them to a decent run in that tournament thing there. Not having Anunoby, in my mind, will hurt more than not having Julius Randle, because Jalen Brunson has stepped up big time. Jalen Brunson should be making easily over $40 million. And this dude's getting, I think, 25 off the top of my head, 15 million less than what he's supposed to be getting. Unbelievable. Completely shocked with the Knicks and how they performed thus far without Julius Randle. When that injury happened, everyone had that gasp because you're already on Mitchell Robinson. Then you lose him. Then Anunoby, it's like a question of, will he be playing or will he not be playing? Like what's going to end up happening? And ultimately, Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart has stepped up big time too. And, as much as we talk about Josh Hart with his triple doubles and everything, this Knicks team, if Brunson was performing the way he was and Josh Hart continued to perform the way he does, nearly averaging triple doubles on a nightly basis, pretty much. Dante DiVincenzo, if he's not hitting his threes, if he's not hitting a single goddamn three, there's no chance. There's no chance that this Knicks team is a top 4 seed, or I think they're top 5. They're a 4 seed. They're a 4 seed right now. Obviously, they're 14 games out because you have the Celtics, but trailing behind them, you got the Magic, the Pacers, the Heat, the Sixers, the Bulls, and the Hawks. They're a half a game out from the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I'll tell you what, if there's any chance somehow, some way that we can get the Cavs versus the Knicks in the first round again, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Excuse me, folks. All right. What we're going to do here is I'm going to give Bose a quick call here, so we're just going to do a quick intermission. We'll have some music playing in the background. Please bear with us, folks, as we get this new portion of the Sports Cave set up, as we will be breaking down some baseball, a little bit of NFL, and for all the wrestling fans out there, a little bit of WrestleMania. So go take your piss break, get your drinks, whatever you got to do. We'll be right back. We are almost set here, folks. We are working through the kinks. We will be back very shortly. Give us like 30 seconds, literally, and we will be back. Please hold. All right, folks, we are back, and we welcome in a friend of the program. Mike Bose is here. Mr. Bose, I hope we got all the technical problems kind of sorted, smoothed out.
All good. Everything's working now.
All right, perfect. So guys, if you get a chance, whether it's now or after the show, Bose and my cousin Travis, they do a show, Hot Shot Highlights. You can find them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, all social media platforms. Give them a follow and show some support, as we're lucky to have Bose here with us today. Travis, a little bit under the weather, so thanks for coming on, bud.
No problem. And I'm just going to do a quick shout out to the Hot Shot Highlights fam. We're going to do something a little bit different today. We're doing a little collab with the Sports Cave. So we're going to talk some WWE today. We're going to maybe talk about a little bit of sports after if we have a little bit of time. But today we thought we'd mix it up a little bit and see what we could come up with.
Hell yeah, dude. And it's good to have you on because my co-host isn't the big wrestling guy. So a lot of times, when we break out the wrestling news, it's like a quick, just a quick talk because he can't really break it down. So we could really break down what's been going on recently.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of sucks. We're both down a host today. So
yeah. Yours is sick. Mine's busy getting hammered down in Miami.
Maybe he will be sick also. Who knows?
Most likely, yeah.
All right, man. Like you just want to actually, I can't. I don't know if I could say this today because Trav's not here. So
I know. I was gonna say. I mean, I'm ready to go ahead first.
Grab your snorkels. I can't. We're not diving in today. We're jumping in today.
No head first dive. Let's go. Let's jump in. Can I cannonball in?
You can. You can't go feet first though, because that's what Trav does. So.
Oh, okay. I'll belly flop.
Sure. All right, man. So yeah, WWE. I mean, mixed emotions for some people. I mean, a lot of people don't like WWE anymore. But honestly, I think wrestling's cool again. Wrestling's been cool for a while, but lately, it's cool again. Mm-hmm. So, can we say that?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. I think it's definitely making a comeback. And I think once they make this move to Netflix, it's going to be even better because I don't know what their FCC protocols are going to be like. But I can imagine that. I mean, you're hearing the stuff The Rock does off the screen, like the most recent one. Like, all right, clear, guys. Fuck that. Like, it was like, whoa, that's really eye opening.
And it's crazy. Like right now, technically, WWE is still in that PG era. I guess you could say it's kind of like TV 14 right now, but it's technically still PG. But The Rock is getting a lot of backstage heat right now for doing everything that he's doing. Although it's good and it looks good on TV, it's attractive to the fans, and he's getting a lot of people talking about it and interested in watching every week. All the superstars that are there weekly are kind of getting a lot of are coming after the higher ups because they're not, they don't get to do that. Like they don't have the leeway The Rock has like that to kind of go out there and swear and make their promos better, because if they can, they'd make a lot of promos a lot better. But now The Rock comes in out of nowhere, and now he starts, swearing, saying, pretty much whatever he wants on there. And now he's just getting heat for it. I mean, is that fair?
No, it's not fair, because when you're talking about The Rock, you're talking about a top 5 WWE face of all time, top 3. Because when you think of the old age, you think of The Rock, you think of Austin, you think of The Undertaker, Hogan, Ric Flair. Like, whatever The Rock wants to say, he's allowed to say. I mean, if Triple H and Shawn Michaels, I mean, think about the way they used to talk, talking about genitalia and having chicks flash their tits, which we should get back to, by the way. Anyways,
but the Rock earned it. The Rock earned it.
Austin earned it. Cena earned it. Hell, even Roman's earned it now. If he wanted to go off script or whatever, he's earned it. At the same, like, initially, when I talked to a coworker, he was like, you were just saying that is his best work that he's done arguably ever. And now you're coming out here and saying that, well, now he's an asshole because, he's looking bad in front of all the other colleagues. They're not at his level yet. It's the crying babies that want everything handsome, like Dolph Ziggler once did, which is why he's in TNA now. It's those kind of guys that cry and complain about those who have the success. If you want to have that privilege like he has, you got to work for it. You got to earn it. He's earned it.
I agree, and you're right. I mean, he laid the foundation for the way WWE is now. But it just, but why? What I'm confused about is why they're allowing that to happen then. Because if you're letting The Rock do this, why not just let the superstars do this, like, from time to time? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, like, you get those promos where it's like really like that cringy, like, like it's like elementary school type beef, like, with some of these guys. But, like, let them have a little bit of freedom. But why don't they do that? Like, just doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And I know what you're saying too, because when you look at AEW, you got MJF, who, like, really took social media by storm when he was like, Tony Khan, why don't you fire me? And he's like, you fucking monk. And, like, it came out clear. They didn't have the 7 seconds. The difference is that they're trying to still be PG while also trying to adapt to the older audience. And the way they can get our attention is we have social media. So when you have Seth Rollins out there tweeting, calling someone a bitch, it's like, oh, or like saying this is bullshit or horseshit, whatever. Like, you could say on social media, but the second they say that on television, it's like now the holy shit chants get blurred out. You hear holy, and then they
and I, as a fan, I fucking hate that. Like,
I hate
so, like, literally, like, The Rock will have a promo, and like he'll be like roasting somebody, and I can't even I can't hear it because they're bleeping the whole thing out. All you hear is holy. It's like, it's straight silence. Like, there was one probably like a month ago. I forgot what day it was, but literally I could not hear anything that was going on. The whole segment was bleeped out. Like, and is that a fan problem?
They have something with social media. You could put the promos out there and just be like, viewer discretion is advised. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People under the age of 14 or 18 should not listen without a parent's consent. Something, because it takes away from us. You know what I mean? I don't want to fucking always see New Day throwing pancakes around and just chanting New Day rocks and have unicorns. And if they're still doing all that, I don't know what the hell.
The unicorn.
There ain't nothing wrong with the unicorn, but I'm just saying, I'd rather listen to the Rocks call someone in the audience a fat, slobbery bitch or something.
Yeah, true. But yeah, I mean, I feel like they're, like you said, they're getting ready for the new era now, because now with Netflix, they came out and I think last week they said that they're coming out on Netflix. Well, they already knew about Netflix, but they said that Netflix is going to be uncensored when they go on there. So, I mean, what does that mean? So there's no rating at all? Like, everything's just fair game? Like, all blood, all, like, swearing you're going to hear fuck, shit, ass, whatever, like, on there? Like, whatever you want? Is that how it's going to be? Like,
I don't know. Isn't it weird that they elect to take Raw off the USA Network to go to Netflix, and then they're taking SmackDown off of Fox to put them back on the USA Network? Isn't that weird?
Well, what happened
I know there's
was,
Peacock, Peacock's like, I think they're part of like the USA because I think they're all part of NBC. Maybe that's the reason why. But why not make everything streaming so you can have that free will?
well, number one, right now, they still have a deal with Peacock for a while. I think until at least 2025. So that's why with Netflix, they're still not going to have the pay-per-views on there. It's just still going to be on Peacock for a while. But I think so Fox didn't want to renew with WWE. So that's why WWE had SmackDown already lined up to go to USA. And then I don't think USA wanted to carry two networks or two of the shows because
No,
that'd
they
be
did that once.
too
and it didn't work
expensive.
out. I think they're still doing that because they're doing Raw and NXT on there, and NXT's not working out whatsoever.
Yeah. I don't know if NXT is leaving. I don't know what that's doing.
I don't know.
Pay attention too much to that.
NXT under Shawn Michaels kind of stinks. It's too Vince McMahonish. I don't like it.
Yeah. It was good before, like when Triple H was there.
Awesome.
But ever since they went to the 2.0,
Yeah,
it
it's
was
really
ruined after that.
honestly, you know, it really drove me away is when they fired Mandy Rose because she was doing like OnlyFans and stuff. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, there's something in their contract that they shouldn't be doing that though. I
She's
mean,
making a ton of more money now.
oh well, yeah.
Body.
Yeah, she doesn't care. She was making more money doing that than she was in WWE.
Hell yeah.
And
Oh,
she's still doing it too. And now
Yeah.
she has even more streaming things too. Not
Oh,
just
yeah.
the one that she was on. She was even on OnlyFans to start. It was like some like off-brand
Off-brand
version
type
of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. But it's going to be a lot better, I think, on Netflix, especially if they're uncensoring it. So I don't know what that means, but
I think Dad makes a good point here too, because shortly after Dusty Rhodes died is kind of when NXT also died too.
true.
I kind of agree.
Very
At
true.
the same time as when he died, you know, that's when you had the Kevin Owens and NXT and the Adam Coles and
Yeah.
Sami Zayn's and all that. So I mean, I would say the second Vince McMahon took over, it kind of happened like when they fired Samoa Joe, because they fired Samoa Joe off the WWE, and Triple H
Yeah.
was like, all right, I'll bring him into NXT. And then Vince McMahon had controls like, fuck you, I'm going to fire Samoa Joe.
Mm.
That's kind of when like it all dies, when Vince McMahon just had to touch it.
Yeah. You want to get into some Vince McMahon debate?
Oh, let's do this.
How do you feel about that scandal?
Horror, dude, that's bad. I mean,
Yeah.
Vince is always, I mean, we've heard wrestlers go off script on him on the mic, talk about how much of a pervert he was. I mean, he used to use and abuse the shit out of Trish Stratus, dude.
Oh, yeah. Everyone could see.
She never came out and said something.
Like 5-year-old me could see that was happening. Like I should understand that like that was happening, but I could see it. Like young me saw that happening, and like
I get it was the Attitude Era, but how could his wife ever agree to sit there and just watch him tongue fuck the shit out of Trish Stratus while she was frozen in a wheelchair? How?
yeah, I don't know.
And that thing with Trish, remember, like, it was like the Monday Night Football thing with Shelton Benjamin, and he's like, we can't have like an interracial relationship between you two. And then she drops the in front of him.
Yeah.
I don't like the signs were always there.
Oh
And
yeah,
the-
I mean, no
and the
one is
text messages-
surprised.
The text messages were, I don't even want to repeat the words. So fucking
Unbelievable.
graphic, dude.
But like you can believe it though. Like you
Yes.
can believe that he said all that because
Yes.
he just gave off that vibe.
Yes.
Which is nobody's surprised whatsoever. They're just like I think they're just surprised that like number one, it took this long to come out because I am because there's no way this wasn't happening for years and years. But like finally, how did just now somebody come out and finally get him? You know, after all this time, like he's been untouchable.
Well,
It's just
it
crazy.
is a new age now because I mean we have a lot of celebrities that I mean, Bill Cosby, most notably, who was doing it years and years and years ago, and it's coming out. And then you got the stuff going on with Nickelodeon right now where they were being abused by the producer or whatever. I mean,
That's been going on.
I know
like
it's crazy that it's come out like
I heard
I'm
about that years ago, and now it's back. Like the same guy too, the guy from iCarly.
Snyder.
He
Yep.
is the
Snyder.
same, and like it's now coming back up again. I don't know. It's weird.
I feel like this had been known a while ago because, and I'll give you an instance, the Bella twins. And the reason why I'm bringing them up is
Oh yeah.
John Laurinaitis was married to their mother, and there was talks about them getting a divorce and a crippling relationship.
Mhm.
That must explain why, because the timetable this all happened with this girl is when the mother wanted a divorce from him.
Mhm.
I don't think I seen that Brock Lesnar has gone off. I don't think Brock Lesnar has any involvement because he explains his life perfectly. He's very antisocial. He likes to live out on his farms out there and do his butchering stuff and work on his farm and hang out with his and not to mention too, if he is cheating on that chick compared to Sable, then there is something mentally wrong with him because Sable is just gorgeous.
Yeah, I feel like most of that was like just so long ago, even before her. So that's why, like, you know what I mean. I feel bad for Brock too because he was lined up to come back. They had some stories set up for him already.
You know
And
who
like
also
right,
makes him and Gunther go at it at WrestleMania?
yeah, that's what it was gonna be.
Oh,
That's why the Sami Zayn storyline seems like very flat. You know
I
what I
don't like it.
mean? Like to me, at least, that seems like really flat. It's because I don't
I
think
agree.
they and the same thing with Chad. They threw Chad Gable in there. It's okay, but it just doesn't seem right. Something
It
seems
doesn't seem
off.
right, but it definitely gives off more than Sami Zayn. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They after he left the bloodline, which was the wrong time. It was the wrong time because he had WrestleMania in a couple months, and it's like, well, we have a Montreal pay. Like, yeah, it looks electric, but now Sami Zayn's character to me is kind of bland again.
yeah,
It's bland.
yeah. He lost all that momentum. I mean, he had a bunch of he had some pop like right around then. That was probably the biggest he's ever going to be, and
Yeah.
then he lost to Roman. Okay, so then they slapped the tag titles on him at WrestleMania.
Kevin Owens, which I liked him and Kevin becoming the tag team champions. I did like
Mhm.
that. You know, I'm a big Kevin Owens guy, so
Yeah,
I did like that. But
but then like they won it. Like okay, that was cool. Like that was needed. But
yeah,
then after that, they didn't do shit with it.
no,
I mean, they had a couple of title defenses, and then that was it. Then they dropped him to the Judgment Day.
yes, yep, Judgment Day, yep,
They lost him straight to them. Yeah.
yep.
So yeah. I mean, I don't know. Not a fan of his character right now. I do like him. His character seems weird right now.
If he could have that same character like he once had in NXT, I'd be all back in on Sami Zayn. But
Mm.
and not for nothing too, presentation is kind of a factor too. I don't like the whole long hair beard look.
Yeah.
It does presentation.
Yeah.
Like remember when Sheamus came back after a while and he came back with like the braids in his beard and it looked really stupid. And the crowd was chanting, "You look stupid," because you did look stupid.
Yeah.
No, I agree. The Vince McMahon thing, I don't know where they go from here. Even if like he is innocent, like you look back at the past of what he's done on camera and you could be like, yeah, he definitely did that.
Yeah. I mean, even the shit behind the scenes too. You hear about all these stories about him. He likes control. He always has to have control about everything.
Yes.
You know, even when other people are in charge, you know, even he was fired or not even fired. Maybe was he fired? Like no, he stepped
Kinda,
away
he kicked off
2
the
years
board.
ago.
Yep, he stepped away. Yeah.
And then that should have been it. And then he weaseled his way back in. Even when he was out, though, he was still filtering his shit through. Was it
Triple
Lauren?
H.
No, Bruce Pritchard.
Right.
Bruce Pritchard too. He was filtering everything that he did was through Vince McMahon, and everybody was like, "Oh, Vince is not here, but he's here."
You're right,
So-
because remember when they went to Chicago and CM Punk showed up when he was still under contract with AEW and he asked Triple H, he's like, "Hey, can I come in?" And Triple H just responds to us, "I got to go run it by the big boss." Who's the big boss? We know who the
Well,
fucking big boss is.
Daddy,
We know who the big boss is.
Daddy.
Yeah, he found a way to weasel, but now he's not allowed. He's not allowed.
I really think he's done this time.
He has
I do.
to. He has to be. The product is so much better without him, dude.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I mean, I guess this is probably another topic of discussion here that I'm probably just gonna like blurt right into, probably in your notes. Wrestling, even last year, was so predictable. I think last year, when Cody Rhodes lost to Roman, that's when you're like, whoa, no, this wasn't supposed to happen. Cody was supposed to finish the story. I can tell you, leading into this WrestleMania, the only thing I look at on the card right now where I'm like 100% certain it's going to happen is Gunther defeating Sami Zayn. I don't know if Rhea Ripley's going to defend her belt against Becky Lynch. I don't know if the Judgment Day is going to defend their tag titles. I don't know if Logan Paul is going to beat Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. I don't know. Roman Cody. I don't know. But what also, and then this is why I love social media too, is like I sent you a video, and I think you or Travis sent me one of like different scenarios that can happen. Like it's unpredictable again, like it once was when we were growing up watching it. Nothing is predictable anymore. Roman versus Brock. There was always Brock for years. Then Roman had his time.
Yeah. I definitely have a good idea of what I think is going to happen. Because I watch every week, so like I can predict what I think is going to happen. But like it's like you said, there's some things I really don't know how they're going to go. Even though I do think Cody's probably going to win, I just don't know how. Or I honestly think there's a chance they still don't let him win.
Right.
But we can get into predictions in a couple minutes if you want. If you want to go over any more Vince drama or talk about something different on this topic.
The Vince drama, I mean, I think we're kind of like waiting to hear what's going to happen next. I think everybody has their opinions that right now he's a scumbag and that he shouldn't be allowed back in the company. And not for nothing, since he hasn't been a part of the company, it's been a lot better.
Yeah.
And I love how, like, do you remember the rule he made where he's like, wrestlers can't have, a Twitch account or a YouTube account?
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, that's another way for them to interact with their fans and grow not only their brand, but the WWE.
Yeah, they don't want them making side money, though. That's the problem.
But
you know
I think
what I mean?
that's kind of stupid. I mean, I have a job where I'm at now, and I do the DJing on the side. I do this on the side, and it's side money. You know what I mean? It's like, why not? Why can't they do that? Why can't they grow their base? I don't get that.
I don't know. It's just Vince being Vince and being very protective, and he wants everything his way. You know what I mean? So that's the way I looked at it.
Yeah, you're right.
Who do you think, like right now, is carrying the company? Like, so to speak, like who's the top guy? Who's the top guy or guys that are just carrying this thing? I have an idea of mine.
Cody has to be one of them. Cody has to be one of them 100%.
Easily.
Seth is one. I don't know if I'm going to put Drew McIntyre in there yet unless he wins the belt. Because, I mean, he's definitely putting his work, but, like, it's kind of confusing, like, the role that he was playing. Because when they had him kind of turn heel, he was also, like, kind of face and kind of heel. Now he's, like, full-blown heel after CM Punk getting hurt.
He's in his best state right now, Drew. Like, the way they...
I can't wait.
Yeah, because you don't know if he's a heel, you don't know if he's a babyface. He's one of those tweeners, like, you know what I mean. That's kind of like what Seth Rollins was, like a couple years ago. Like he was the bad guy, but everybody loved him. Right. So that's kind of like where Drew is filtering right now, and that's what I think is Seth Rollins is gonna. Although he's been carrying the company since he won the title. I mean, back in May, I think. I think he's getting ready to take some time off, and Drew's going to carry the ship after that. I mean, also, same thing with Cody, obviously. He's obviously the top guy right now.
Cody's the top guy.
But I'm nervous that, like, he's too over, and, like, the fans are going to start to hate him. Kind of like Roman was a huge baby face that nobody liked it a couple years ago.
Right.
But that's what I'm worried about with Cody.
Me too. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried leading up to last year's WrestleMania, but it's like his popularity grew even more. Mm-hmm. But at some point, the role that he plays, the ultimate baby face, the ultimate I'm gonna like, you got to have some sort of edge instead of this like motivating kind of like inspiration type role. It gets kind of bland after a while. That's why I start getting the boos You know what I mean? And then they tried to portray Roman as like the next scene and he got the booze.
Mm.
I know what you're saying. I agree with you. But at the same time, he's not wrong when he says he has to finish his story. This has happened when he got fired by WWE. He was supposed to be the guy in New Japan. He was supposed to win the AEW World Championship. He lost. You know, it's like a part of the story that everyone keeps waiting and waiting. And at the same time, like, where I don't worry about it is I think we all knew that it was supposed to be Rock versus Roman at this year's WrestleMania.
But was it though? They're doing a very good job of
They are doing a really good job.
not
But
like letting us not know.
I thought that was the game full set until Cody won the Rumble and he pointed at Roman. It's like, whoa, that's a game changer.
He wouldn't have pointed that. But did they want this all along? You know what I'm saying? Like, was the plan for Cody to choose Roman and then go and have The Rock take his place and then go back on his word and then have The Rock pissed at him and then make this tag team match? I don't know. It seems like that was the plan.
I think social media with the outrage played a major factor for them to make it as easy as it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like I feel like it's either there was a huge outrage obviously after, he went back on his word and didn't choose Roman. Everyone was like so pissed, like blah blah blah, whatever. So, but did that make WWE change the plans, or did it feed into their plans that they wanted to do? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. Either way, it worked well.
I love it. I absolutely love it, dude, because it's just like there's so many different scenarios where in the past it's like one and like we just agree like it's so many different scenarios and how they wanted to plan off. I'm a firm believer that it was supposed to be Rock versus Roman all along.
That's what the reason why I think that it could have been that is because Roman has been irrelevant in this whole storyline. Like it's been Rock versus Cody.
Yeah.
He has the biggest match at WrestleMania in the main event. He hasn't been on he's been on TV one time since that. Like he just talked to Cody last week. So I don't know, it's weird. Like it's like they didn't have anything planned for him.
But to me, it's so weird, though, because we're leaning to this WrestleMania, like you said, we're seeing The Rock and Cody more than we're seeing Roman versus Cody. And, like, I want to sit there and say, like, it's easy, Cody's going to win. But that's what I thought last year, too.
Yeah.
I
have this weird, skeptical prediction that I don't want to happen, but would be pretty sick. I don't know if I sent this to you, but I sent it to somebody, I think. But it was for... Like, say Cody wins at WrestleMania. He beats Roman. He's supposed to be the champ. As soon as like they go to give him the belt, Damian Priest comes out to cash in his Money in the Bank. And then before Cody even gets that title in his hands, just like his dad got, they rip it out of his hands. And then they have the match with Damian, and then Damian fucking beats him for the title. Wow, that'd be so fucking sick. It would suck ass.
It would be the same thing as it was with Rollins and Roman and Brock years ago.
But this would be like a next level because Cody's supposed to win this time. He's supposed to get the belt that his dad didn't win, whatever. And then
we start over.
That would be insane. But the heat that WWE would get from that would be out of this world. It would be way worse than everything with The Rock, like when that first happened. And that was pretty bad. Yeah. But that would be crazy. Like that'd be some good fucking storytelling right there. But it would be so fucked up.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I love how there's so many different angles that the way the results are going to work for every match. The only match, of course, I think it's going to end up being Gunther and Sami. Is just going to be whatever. That'll be like the mid-card match or piss break. Go get your food or whatever.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But if you want, we can get into some predictions on this show.
I wanted to ask you a question really quick though, because we have the Hall of Fame ceremony happening.
Oh yes,
and it's in Philadelphia, the birthplace of ECW. Mm-hmm. Paul Heyman's getting inducted. There's so many different wrestlers you look at, or even like you can look at ECW, look at Taz. Sabu, well, I don't know how good prolific his English is. No offense, just trying to be honest. Taz, Sabu, RVD, Tommy Dreamer, Joey Styles. And then when you look at the WWE, I doubt it's going to be Roman, but he's definitely in the category. Roman, Brock. Who should induct Paul Heyman into the Hall of Fame?
I have no idea. So I would have said Brock originally,
Mhm.
but obviously they're not going to put him on the show. Although he is technically on the roster
Mhm.
again, I heard. But yeah, they're not going to put him on TV for that. Um, I think a good one would be CM Punk right now.
Ooh, that is
Um, because he has nothing to do, or does he? We'll get into that in a minute.
Mhm.
But RVD would be a good one too. Shout out
You
to Bob
definitely would.
Clark. But yeah, so I think CM Punk's a good idea. And he's obviously good on the mic. He was his manager for a while.
Mhm.
I think it'd be a good idea. If not Triple H, I want to say. Because they're like, who else? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, I could definitely see them calling. I mean, why not have the ECW originals? Fuck it. Why not? Sandman. I don't know if he's still alive. Sandman, RVD, Tommy, Bubba Ray.
That's what I
Devon.
was gonna say too. The Dudleys, but the Dudleys are throwing shade at WWE. I think on their shows. I saw some video of them talking shit. I don't know. Am I wrong? I might be wrong.
No, both Bubba Ray definitely talks shit. I don't
Yeah,
know about. I know
yeah.
Devon. I thought he was producer.
I
Maybe
thought Devon
Devon
was
got
still with
fired.
the company.
Devon, I thought was. I thought he was a producer. Bubba Ray went over to TNA, and there's like a good relationship between the two now. Instead of like trying to compete, like I love what they do with like the one or two TNA wrestlers coming up for the Royal Rumble to like advertise themselves.
Mm.
I kind of like that.
The Hall of Fame's
I don't
Friday,
know
correct?
what's that.
The Hall of Fame is on Friday, right?
Yeah, it's probably after SmackDown on Friday. Yeah,
Yeah.
you remember years ago when
Hmm.
the fan ran in and tackled the shit out of Bret Hart? You don't remember that?
No,
So he was.
I gotta check that video.
I think he was doing a speech for Owen or the British Bulldog, and he's just talking, and then this fan just like tackled him. So they pulled the fan out. Or actually, before he pulls out, Ronda Rousey's husband, Travis Brown, who was like, "Oh no, we lost Bose, and Bose is back. What the hell just happened there?"
I don't know. I saw the whole thing just kind of
I was
screw
like,
up right
"Oh
there.
no, we lost Bose. Oh, he's back."
Okay.
Travis Brown was the UFC heavyweight, and he just starts beating the shit out of this fan. They're trying to pull him out from the bottom rope. He starts fucking beating the
Mhm.
shit out of this dude. You got to look that up. It was pretty crazy.
I'll check that for sure.
So yeah, Paul
Um,
Heyman. I don't know. I mean, for me, maybe it's the ECW originals, but had the whole Brock Lesnar thing not go down, I think maybe it would have leaned more
But-
so towards him.
But like I don't know, he doesn't like really talk like that.
No, he doesn't.
That's why I
I would
think
definitely
CM
say
Punk
he's
is
done a good
perfect.
job post Paul Heyman with his promos, though. He has done a pretty good job.
I also
Prior
would
to
I would like Roman would make the most sense right now, but I feel like he's not
he's not.
trying to do that. Like he's not gonna be the hype man for someone else. You know what I mean?
And I think with it being in Philadelphia too, they're going to want the ECW crowd. So to me, it makes sense. It might be just the ECW originals instead of just like one guy. Like his
Yeah.
speech should be right around the same time as the Undertaker's. He deserves a lot of things that WWE did. They took from ECW during the Attitude Era.
Yeah, that is true. Very true. Honestly, like I was also thinking like Heyman doesn't even need somebody to introduce him. Like he could just come out and be like, "Ladies and gentlemen," like he could just do it himself. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Who knows? I'm that's actually really interesting.
Mhm.
Also, speaking of Hall of Fame, I'll throw one more thing out there that I'm pretty pissed off about. I think Bray Wyatt should have been inducted this year. That I thought that was the right thing to do with him, passing earlier was it end of last year, I think.
It was
Um,
earlier this year, I think. I think it was before the war, after Royal Rumble.
kind of upset about that. I'm not sure why. The only thing I could think about is that they already had plans for Heyman to go in, so they want Bray to be the headline guy and not like a secondary. That's what I think, but
Mhm.
I mean
Well, if I
that was a
remember
that was a
correctly,
no brainer.
if I remember correctly, when Eddie Guerrero passed away, it was not the WrestleMania then. It was like the WrestleMania after they inducted him into the Hall of Fame too.
Mm.
I know his
Oh.
father is getting inducted.
Mhm.
Bray Wyatt's father's getting inducted. So
Yeah,
they're
in the tag team.
and maybe this is another reason why his dad puts here because of the documentary coming out. Maybe they want to put that out.
Came out today.
Yeah, Travis was watching it when I gave him a call. And there was a spoiler all over social media. So if you get a chance, don't look at social media. Just watch the documentary. I'm a little pissed I saw it. I think that when his father comes out, there'll be a lot of thank you brays, and that's probably what the dad wants because I'm sorry, I don't know anything about his father's career. I know
should've-
Bray Wyatt.
They should have put him in with his dad too. Like that would have also been cool.
But you know what they should also do? Rest in peace, Luke Harper. But they should do
Yeah.
they should do Bray Wyatt individually and also the Wyatt family because the Wyatt family was awesome. Even when they
That-
brought in Braun Strowman too to make for them, it was awesome.
That's a great idea. But also, I feel like they have the thing with AEW with him going there. What was his name? Brody
Rowan?
Lee. Brody Lee. So
Oh.
he went to AEW. So I don't know if they
No, they
him
will.
right now.
They should because
And
he-
they
he had
probably
he was a part of the. That's why I'm saying like they don't induct Harper individually. They do Bray Wyatt himself and then the Wyatt family.
yeah.
Maybe it's not the like in the same one, but Bray Wyatt should be next year. And
Bray
then
Wyatt's got to have solo. Like he has to have a solo
Yes.
one.
Yes.
That's why I think there has to be next year. If it's not next year, that's crazy. And he has to be the headline. Has to be.
I'll tell you, Bo. So when he passed away, TJ, I think we know TJ. He's just like, whatever, like type of guy. When I broke the news to him that Bray Wyatt died, the sound in his voice when I told him, like, he's like, because you know how he used to always do those jokes like, oh, what would you do if this person died? Oh, what would you do if this person died? I told him, I was like, Bray Wyatt just died. He goes, you're just fucking with me. I said, no, he really died. And like, he was quiet the rest of the phone. It like hit him. He had an impact on, a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
fans.
I'm not gonna lie.
His
That
storytelling
shit,
was
that shit
amazing.
hit me pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Me too.
I mean, you get in, like, especially for someone like me, like you get invested into these characters. Not
Yeah.
just like they're not just like a guy on the screen. Like they have a family. Like you know what I mean. They're putting in the work. Like they're putting in the work for you guys to be entertained. You know what I mean? So like he's entertaining me every week. So I'm feel connected to him that way. So like when that happened, like I thought he was honestly one of the best, if not the best, in WWE. Like for his time as the Fiend, he carried the company, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The Fiend persona, that was wow. I wasn't sure how it was going to play out because you only saw little glimpses, but when that entrance at SummerSlam against Finn Balor, that was
yeah,
shit. Like
Mhm.
his lantern was the old Bray Wyatt with his eyes stapled closed and shit. Like,
yeah. And it's crazy because we all knew he was just like a dude in a mask, but like the way he played it, like made you actually like kind of worry about him. Like you know what I mean? Like he gave off the vibe like you should be scared of me,
Yeah.
even though everyone knew.
You know what really pissed me off is it was before WrestleMania, the COVID year when they were in Saudi Arabia. When Vince McMahon made him lose his belt to Goldberg, I was
Yeah, that was ass.
infuriated. And you know what? He definitely took a break because of that. And he fucking deserved to. Because that character was here. And it's like, oh, here's Goldberg, who in the past, Triple H has shit on and tough enough for a guy that can only do a 5-minute fucking fight, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever see the video of William Regal versus Goldberg in WCW and how William Regal made him like expose them for how much of a fraud he is as a wrestler? It was terrible match. This was Goldberg at his prime.
Well, he only had 2 moves, anyways, even in his prime.
Exactly.
Spear and the jackhammer, and that was it.
Exactly.
Oh my god, I just gotta bring this up because this is crazy. Because I saw this on somewhere on TikTok or something the other day of like one of the worst matches ever, and it was him and the Undertaker like a few years ago. I forgot. I think it was at Crown Jewel or something.
Yeah, that was bad.
Literally could not fucking hit a move. It was the worst thing ever. He
And
botched
the
like
rumor
3
was-
moves in a row.
The rumor was he concussed himself because he banged his head in the
Yeah,
fucking
and then-
door.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that jackhammer live. I was like, I thought the Undertaker broke his fucking neck, dude. And the Undertaker was pissed at himself. He was pissed that he blamed himself. I'm like, dude, you did
Hell
nothing
no.
wrong.
No way. That was all Goldberg.
Overrated.
Oh yeah. For sure. All right, you want to get into some predictions then? WrestleMania? You got anything else you want?
No, I'm excited. I tell you, I I use the vacation day Monday because I am so excited for this fucking WrestleMania, dude. I am so locked in as of Friday. So locked in.
Nice.
And I'm
So
pissed because I was thinking about going to SmackDown on Friday. Like,
Me
I
too.
was willing to bite the bullet, but I just kept going through the internet. And I remember years ago when it was in New York, I took Travis. And the last hour of the show was Big E and Xavier Woods to try to help Kofi go to WrestleMania face on Daniel Bryan. And the show
Mhm.
stunk. The show stunk. It was Kurt Angle's last SmackDown. He's facing AJ Styles. I'm like, ultimate TNA vibes, like in their primes. It's fucking, I mean, they're not in their prime. Well, AJ
Yeah.
was, but wasn't. And then 2 minutes in the match, Randy Orton comes out from under the ring and RKO's AJ Styles.
Nice.
It was terrible. So I was like, I know if I spend this amount of money, I'm gonna fucking regret it. So
Yeah. So like, yeah, last week was so ass on Friday. That would have sucked to go to and spend that money. It was
Mhm.
expensive to go,
Yep.
and there was, all you got to see is Jade Cargill. And that was pretty much it. But they are coming back to Hartford May 6th.
yeah,
Monday
my
Night Raw.
coworker's been telling me all about that. And I'm thinking about it.
I will be going. I will be going.
Will we see you on camera singing Seth Rollins' theme song again?
Absolutely. I was on camera. I was on camera the whole night that
That's
night.
That's pretty fucking awesome.
That was a good show too. Very
Yeah.
good show.
I agree. They always do a good job, like 2 to 3 months after WrestleMania. They always do a good job. And then after SummerSlam, it kind of like slows down a little bit.
I agree.
Are
That's
you a
why
fan of the War Games for Survivor Series, or do you like the traditional match?
I like if the storyline makes sense, then yes. Like it was pretty cool. Like this year was Judgment Day versus the baby faces.
Right.
So that was pretty cool. The year before was the Bloodline versus who was it? Was it that's when Sammy turned. Or did
No,
he? No, he
Sammy
didn't turn yet.
Yeah, because he low blow Kevin Owens. It was the Bloodline versus Kevin Owens, McIntyre, Sheamus, and like his two.
Yep. When they have a storyline like that, then it makes sense. Then it's good. But if you don't, then it's not. But we've only had it twice so far. So
Where the hell has Sheamus been?
the last I heard like a couple months ago, he was about to come back. I don't think they have anything for him right now. So that's why they're just leaving him off TV. I think he's ready to come back. I think he'll be one of those surprises after WrestleMania, like the Raw after WrestleMania. He'll probably be in there, but especially now because what's his name? One guy's back in NXT. Forgot his name. What's his name?
You're talking about Braun?
No, one of the brutes.
Rich, and he
Ridge
stepped
Highlands.
and he stepped away. Did you see that?
Butch is doing now. He's
Back to his old
Pete
character.
Dunne.
Yeah,
Now
that
he's with the other guy.
Yeah,
They should ride him solo.
Pete
Stop putting him
Dunne,
in.
like the regular character, is awesome, dude.
Yes.
Although he makes me cringe when you see him do the shit with the fingers and shit. That's definitely cringe and looks like it hurts, but it's awesome.
Yeah, that's probably why they don't have Sheamus back on yet. They don't have nothing for him to do.
Yeah.
But we'll see him soon.
It's just
Trust.
crazy, Bose, that we look at AEW and like the wrestlers we grew up watching, Jericho, Edge, Christian. I don't know if the Hardys are still there or not. But to not see any of them at WrestleMania kind of sucks too.
Who? Like all those
Edge,
guys?
Christian, the Hardys, Jericho.
They made the choice. They made the choice to go there. You know
I
what mean?
was shocked to see Edge go to AEW.
Me
Every
too.
other one of them made sense. When that video came out, that hurt. Because this dude was like all WWE. And for him to go, it sucked.
I think I don't know. Edge has this like crazy idea like that he could still run it with the young guys, and I think just because I don't think WWE like really had much else for him. I think he just wanted to wrestle the guys over there. At AEW. I think he really wanted to have one more match with Christian. I think that's like really what it was. But AEW fucked up his whole like I don't know.
The storytelling
ever
in
since he
AEW is
joined,
terrible.
it's terrible. Like, okay, Edge should have he shouldn't have went to Christian first. Christian should have been his last match. Nobody gave a shit about that match at all.
No.
Like that should have been a top fucking match. Like when he was going to AEW, everyone's like, oh yeah, he's gonna end up with Christian. Like that's gonna be his final match.
That's
Blah
what it
blah
should've been.
blah. Whatever. And it should have been, but they did it the first. Like that was his like first match.
Yeah.
Nobody cared.
No. The storytelling in
was stupid.
AEW outside of MJF is terrible. Seriously, the only thing that made me like pay attention to AEW, whether on TV or social media, was MJF recently. Like Samoa Joe's the champ, I could care less. Adam Cole has started a new group, I can care less.
He was good with MJF.
Huh?
He was good with MJF.
No, he was
That was
awesome.
really good. That was probably their best storyline when they were
Yeah.
friends.
But then once you saw like whatever the fuck the group's name was, like the second the lights went out when like MJF's like, hit me, don't hit him, hit me. Second the lights went out, you knew Adam Cole was.
Oh yeah.
It was like, oh.
Oh yeah.
The storytelling
sure.
AEW is very, very bad. And I liked when it first came out because he had all the indie guys with Jericho and Moxley as like the only ex-WWE guys, which made sense. But then you start bringing all in the WWE guys that kind of failed as characters. You brought in Rusev, Keith Lee. The Revival was like kind of in and out on the main roster, you know. Cesaro, like those type of guys that like had the potential in WWE but never panned out, and it's like, oh, they'll have this in AEW, but it's all ex-WWE guys now, man. It's not interesting anymore.
Yeah, and they're all guys that don't really have much juice left, to be honest. Like, I don't know. That's
Yeah,
just
like
what I
Daniel,
think.
like Daniel Bryan, how much does he have left in the tank?
No, he's ready to go. He's done.
Yeah.
He's
just
been
about
ready to retire.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Oh,
even
yeah,
watch
dude.
that shit anymore.
Me neither. And the dumbest thing they could have done was make a second show for Saturday nights.
Well, they made that for CM Punk, and now he's not there anymore. So
Yeah.
now they're fucked.
And I want to watch that interview he had with Ariel Helwani. He shit on AEW hard.
Mhm.
I want to watch that at some point. He was talking about Tony Khan, the beef backstage, and apparently they left him at an airport stranded. Everyone else is on the plane except for CM Punk. They left him stranded at an airport.
Yeah, I heard that. He's not allowed to talk about that yet. All that, like what happened. Like
No,
everyone
he
wants
was.
to know, but
He was talking all about it on Hawani's show
really?
today.
Oh,
Mhm.
I'm thinking about the beef with the Young Bucks in the backstage.
Oh yeah, no. They're a bunch
So
of
I just
pussies,
said
by the way. The Young Bucks and Adam Page. They're a bunch of bitches, dude.
Yeah, I know. I don't really mess with them. Like I said, I don't find anything on that show interesting at all.
Me neither. Me neither.
The only thing was Jericho was interesting at first, but now he lost everything he's got. He's done. He needs to walk away. MJF is the only thing really, but
And he's not even under contract still.
they always say that stupid shit. He's
I
under
know.
contract.
But there's speculation.
Yeah, that'd be sick if he went to WWE.
Yes, it would. I wonder if, but Tony Khan wouldn't give him like a couple month contract neither. You know what I mean? Because like you said, when they go to Netflix, like maybe there's more freedom. And MJF,
That's why I think. Yeah, I know. That's why I think MJF might be interested then.
Mhm.
I mean, but he has a lot of freedom over there too.
Yeah, he has a lot of creative control. You're right.
But I don't know. If I was WWE, I would open my wallet, give him a blank check.
Well, if
That's
I
it.
was Tony Khan, I would try to finagle a way to steal some Jaguars money, Jacksonville Jaguars money, try to give it to MJF if possible.
Yeah, right. Oh boy. All right. What do we got? Let's see. Predictions? Prediction
Let's
time?
do this. Let's do prediction time.
Let's do this thing. All right, let's see. What do we got? We'll start off. I'll just go through the match card. Not sure what days each of these are on. But we'll start off with LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Oh, sorry, I didn't do it right. LA Knight.
Yeah. I see a coworker, and we either do one of two things. You do the Randy Orton pose, or yeah.
Yeah.
Shout
I
out
think
to Josh.
Josh says yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking LA Knight gets this one. He earned it, I think, this year. Last year I think he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal because they had nothing for him. Maybe.
I think
Am I
you're right.
right?
I think you are. Yeah. I
No,
think
that
you-
was SummerSlam. He won the SummerSlam one. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah. You're right about that. Yeah, SummerSlam one because
Yeah,
that's when he started taking off a little bit.
he needs a big win. I think he comes up with it. Honestly, I don't really care for this storyline too much, to be
It wasn't
honest.
planned out correctly. It kind of died out when they did
It-
the Fatal 4-Way match.
It could have been a lot better.
I
Could have been
agree.
a way better. And they need to do something with LA Knight soon because honestly, he was the biggest draw probably all summer and all fall. Like he was on top. He was on top. He was even probably more over than Cody for a little while.
I agree with you on
And
that. I do.
he's losing some of it, I think. He's still
Yeah.
got it. He still got it, but they can't fuck this shit up with him.
They should have had him as an Intercontinental or U.S. champion first.
That's what I'm
when
saying.
when they were building up John Cena back in the day, when he was really taking off, kind of like how LA Knight did. It started with the U.S. belt. And once it got to that point, it's like, all right, we're going to bring him to. They went straight for the major belt, bro. Straight for the WWE Championship because
Yeah,
who else is going to battle with Roman and because Roman's going through everybody.
I
It
know.
was too premature.
Mhm.
But I agree with you. AJ Styles is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I like the new character, but I also hate it because the AJ style poses are like trademark. Like since he's joined, we've always seen the arms across and the gloves where it shows AJ.
Yeah.
Now
Now he's just walking
dude.
out.
Now he's just walking out with the fighting. It's kind of like what they did to Dean Ambrose before he left. You know,
Yeah.
I think we're seeing the end of AJ Styles in WWE. He carried the company. He carried SmackDown for years, and
It's the house that AJ Styles built.
it was the face that ran the place. But now it's the face that'll be leaving the place soon.
I
And
don't
LA
know. Like he was hurt for a while though. Like it's not. I mean, and then he came back, and then he got a shot with Roman immediately in that Fatal 4-Way.
yeah,
So I mean, I don't know.
I think that they utilized them. This is the thing with WWE. When we were growing up, WWE champions were changing consistently. It was Stone Cold. It was The Rock. It was Kurt Angle, The Undertaker, Jericho, Kane, like Mankind. Now it's like whenever there's a WWE champion, it's the same one for a year. Or if they cash in like Big E did, they lose it after a month.
Mhm.
And I don't like that. I like once the Roman reign is done, once his title defense is done, I want to see multiple different like WWE champ. I'm not saying every month you got to switch, but like go back to that era. Go back to when it was like a couple month reign and a couple month reign and then a shorter reign and a longer like
Well, the problem with that is then the title loses its credibility at that point. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. It makes sense. But then the title is like, oh, it just keeps bouncing around. You know, and then the guys who lose it after only like a while, then they lose all the credit that they had, all the credit that they built up in
Yeah.
that time. Then they don't look as strong. That was a problem like WWE was having. They didn't have anyone viable to win these titles for a while, so that's why everybody was whoever was holding the belt held it for a long time because they didn't have anybody to to be that face and be the top guy. Now they have too many top guys, but Roman held the belt for too damn long and almost fucking ran half the roster out because they don't get title shots and they don't get the time on TV. And now they finally have that with Triple H now, so they have to turn the corner this time. They have to do it right after this WrestleMania, and they have the opportunity to do it now. So
they do. You're right. You're right. But we both got LA Knight winning this one. Yeah.
I think he does pretty easy. It's going to be a good match, though, I think.
They're two prolific wrestlers. It's going to be a good wrestling match for sure.
Yeah. I really think LA Knight should have faced Logan Paul at WrestleMania, so then he could have got the belt and it looked real nice. And that would have been a great feud.
The promos would have been great, dude.
But I think the problem with that is then they had nothing for Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, which are top guys. And what were they going to do? It made sense the way they did that with Logan. It's a nice match.
Well, maybe initially, maybe they I guess maybe somehow, some way they get Randy involved with the whole situation instead of Seth Rollins. But Seth Rollins is a major champion. Because like if this was before Survivor Series, Randy and Cody versus The Rock and Roman would have been fucking great too, dude. It's what was Legacy versus the Bloodline, minus Ted DiBiase and his tax and fraud thing going on.
Yeah. So speaking of that, I guess we'll go into that match, the triple threat: Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens for the U.S. Championship. This is gonna be a banger, I think. I really do. Logan Paul is that guy.
Logan Paul is such
good.
a gifted athlete, dude. It's unbelievable. He is an athlete.
He is literally like I said it like when he first came up to the WWE, and like it seemed like he was gonna stick around for like a little while. He is perfect for this industry. He talks to talk, and which is the crazier part is he is nasty in the ring.
Yeah,
he is so good.
Yes, he's very good.
You see, like I appreciate this as a fan. Like, could you get those supers or those Hollywood stars that come in and they have a one-off match? They train a little bit. They do minimum effort to get good for that one match. But like the last couple ones, like him, like Logan Paul, Bad Bunny, they put in the work.
Bunny. Holy
like,
shit, dude!
That dude is fucking crazy too.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate that. Like, I want to see that. I love that.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, before Bad Bunny and Logan Paul, it was like Stephen Amell, but like Stephen Amell's like Travis might hate me because he loved the series Arrow, but Stephen Amell's not at the same celebrity level as Logan Paul or Ronda Rousey or Bad Bunny. Yeah, Johnny Knoxville.
That was a great match.
I watched that a lot of times. They did really good with that.
But yeah, Logan Paul, he's killing it, and I think he's probably the most athletic in WWE right now, besides maybe Ricochet.
There you go. Yeah,
but that would have been a great match too to see.
They did that for SummerSlam, and that was a very good match. Ricochet.
I know that's why I think it should have been them two also. That would have been also a good WrestleMania match.
But Ricochet's not good with this whole storytelling thing. He's a great, he's like Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews was like great in the ring, but no storytelling.
I know, but like here's the thing: he had a lot of momentum around the time him and Logan were going.
Yeah.
Where is the follow up with that? You have to follow that up. That was the chance. This guy was waiting for an opportunity like that to skyrocket, and that was it. And they fumbled the bag with him again.
Major. They always do. Like, they ruined his stock when Brock Lesnar beat him in like 13 seconds. Just like they did to Kofi Kingston. It killed Kofi Kingston off. It killed Ricochet off. Because Brock had the power at the time because Vince was the guy. And whoever he wanted to work with, he could do whatever he wanted. Like, remember when Dean Ambrose, when they faced off of Mania, made a mockery out of the match, kind of?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Brock killed talent. Roman made the talent better. Like, when he was facing off against Sami Zayn, it wasn't like a 13-second match. It was Roman dominant with a couple spurts, and it's like, you really believe he could do it?
Yeah.
And Ricochet died off because of that. And then the whole thing with him and Braun Strowman was, wasn't a big fan. Him and Malachi Black were awesome.
Yeah, that was a good team.
Mm-hmm.
When they both first came up, too. Oh, man.
Awesome. When we went to that SmackDown, Travis and I remember watching that live because it was a pre-show. It wasn't like a main event match or like the show main event. And it was before SmackDown. It was their intro match, and that match is fucking awesome. They should have had that on camera.
Yeah. But for this match, for the triple threat, I got Logan Paul retaining.
I do too. Because
I don't see these guys carrying the title. That's why.
Kevin Owens is an outcast. I think Randy Orton will get screwed in some sort of fashion. They'll face off in the next pay-per-view.
It's just like Randy Orton doesn't need the U.S. belt right now. You know what I mean?
No.
He don't need that belt.
No.
KO can carry that belt.
KO could. You know what they should do is if Cody wins, that should be a feud.
Him and Randy?
Yeah.
Damn. That'd be good.
That would be awesome.
But then they got to turn Randy Orton heel, which is not hard at all for him. Because right now he's playing face.
Yeah.
So,
dude, you know what video I always look back to a lot recently? Because, like, when he came back on Raw after Survivor Series, and he's like, "Give me a second. I just never thought I'd do this again." He gets up on the ropes before he does his pose, and like you can see, like he's trying to hold back the tears.
Yeah.
He is what I was hoping John Cena would be. You know what I mean? Everyone was saying he was handed a silver spoon, which he kind of was.
Nah,
but
he's put in the work.
He's stayed with it. He stayed with it
Mhm.
over Batista, over Cena, over Punk. Like he's been there the whole way. And
Mhm.
fusion back surgery is a major, major injury, and he's
Mhm.
stuck all the way through.
Yeah, and he's
one
ripped.
of my favorites now, dude. When they
I'm
started
gonna
announcing 275 pounds at 40-something years old, holy
Yeah, and he
shit.
is jacked.
Oh my god, I've never seen him this big before.
When I grew up, I want to be just like him.
Me too. Maybe I can get rid of that one day. My Kevin Owens cut.
Yeah, me too.
I got Logan going all the way to
Yeah, me too.
KSI get involved.
I mean, someone's been involved in every single one of his matches, so someone's gonna throw him. Actually, no, it's no disqualification. Anyways, he'll have the brass knuckles. Anyways,
Oh, perfect. Oh, perfect.
So
Yeah,
maybe.
so brass knuckle somebody.
all right. Let's go on to the next one. Undisputed Tag Team Championship 6-pack, and we're not talking about beer. 6-pack tag team ladder match for the titles. The teams. I will have to get you the teams. Let's see.
We obviously got the Judgment Day.
Judgment Day is Judgment Day. I know it's the Miz and
Awesome Truth.
R-Truth.
Yeah.
It is the New Day.
3.
It is the DIY.
Yeah.
Austin
And
Theory and Waller, and
Yeah.
then the Pete Dunne and I forgot that guy's name. That's how irrelevant he is.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
The New Catch Republic, they're calling themselves.
Yeah.
So, who do you got? Or do you want me to go first on this one?
Weirdly enough,
I know what you're going to say.
I got the Miz and Truth, bro.
Me too.
I got the Miz and Truth. Like, R-Truth deserves it, bro. R-Truth fucking deserves it. This guy is gold on the mic, and he's been so misutilized since like the early 2010s. This guy is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I definitely got them because of that whole storyline with him and them for a while, and he was kicked out of the Judgment Day. And I'm surprised that this wasn't just a straight up match because like even when that was going on, the Miz was coming back and whatever. I thought they were gonna win the titles at WrestleMania, but I'm surprised they're doing it in a 6-pack match. I think they're just doing that to get the tag teams out there, just to show their face, to get them some time. But I do think Miz and Truth come through with that title. I don't see anyone else winning this year.
I was literally crying laughing when he entered the Royal Rumble and he helped JD get eliminated.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The hot tag, attacking Gunther after the hot tag. Like,
yeah.
What are we gonna? He's gonna do some funny shit at WrestleMania that's gonna get us rolling laughing.
I
But
know.
I think they would make a major mistake by not letting the Miz and Truth win because Miz is entertaining too.
Well, also they need to. So I think this is where they split the belts because
They have to, dude. This is so stupid. Split the fucking belts is right.
I think they need a way to have Judgment Day lose and not look terrible. So this is the perfect way to do it in a ladder match, which makes sense.
What if someone gets to the top rope, someone grabs the blue ones, someone grabs the red ones?
This is something that Truth would be confused about.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just his character. He'll do something weird like that.
Right.
And then also, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you just put this into my head. What if somebody grabs a red one, somebody grabs a blue one, they both come down at the same time, and then they're like, oh, well, we have 2 champions. So here's your blue belts, here's your red belts.
And then they go to the brand.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's such a sick thing.
Yeah,
that's such
I agree.
Honestly, it's a good idea. That's how you should do it.
Yeah, I agree. No, it's perfect because how are you going to
be Truth? Truth is going to be one of them that does it.
Yeah.
Damn,
Like-
that's
like-
such a good idea.
You'll have Finn and Priest, like, or whoever they are, like, oh, put it here, and you got the missing the other side here, and they just like,
Yeah. Wow, that's such a good idea. We should write the WrestleMania script for them.
we're gonna have to make a reel of this, and like this way we'll be like, ha, we told you.
Yeah. That honestly, that makes so much sense. That's crazy enough to work.
That'd be good.
Next match, this one was just announced. Damage Control versus Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargo.
There's no chance that Jade loses in her first match.
No way.
No chance.
No
okay,
way.
So that's 2 matches that it's very easy to pick. Then there's no chance. No chance Jade loses. No chance.
I'm just like kind of pissed. Like this, like has no build up
None.
at all.
Yeah.
Like it's like Jade's been there for months, and just sitting in the backstage. Like
Mhm.
why?
Yeah.
Like you could have started this a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
Like why didn't they? That's so stupid. Like
Does it shock you, like when she was there in SmackDown, like how she was kind of like, I don't want to say sexual, but like when she hit that Beth Phoenix move and then she lay back, she's like licking her hand and shit. She was like,
I didn't notice that.
yeah, she was like leaning back. She was like licking her hand all awkward. Yeah. Like-
She is fucking ripped though. Holy shit.
Do you know who her boyfriend is?
No.
Former baseball player, played for the Reds and the Red Sox.
Should I know this?
When I tell you the Reds, you should know him from the Reds. I feel like if I give you the position, it's way easy.
Shoot.
Second baseman.
Why am I drawing a blank? Who is
Because
it?
the Reds are kind of dog shit, but like you know how crazy me and Trey have started with baseball for years. Brandon Phillips.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, he's banging Jade Cargill. Good for him.
Nice.
Lucky son of a bitch.
Good man. Good man. I'll stay with Damage Control. What do you think about the women's WWE Women's Championship? Io Sky versus Bailey.
Bailey's got to win, bro.
Oh yeah.
Bailey has to win. She deserves it. I've been the biggest like Bailey fan since like she had her stupid wacky inflatable 2-men thing. Like,
Yeah.
she deserves that belt more than any woman left on that roster. Like she carried Damage Control for years,
Yeah.
and they kind of made a joke out of her always losing against Bianca Belair and shit.
Mm.
But I think that she gets the push that she deserves, and then she'll lose to Charlotte.
I feel like the storyline's been kind of except for like last week. It's kind of heated up a little bit more, but I feel like it's just so
definitely made it
easy
more
that Bailey wins.
They made it more interesting when they had Dakota Kai turn on her.
Yes, that helped it a little bit, but like at first it kind of seemed stale
Mhm.
and didn't really care about it. But whatever, we'll see. Kind of,
Got to win. If Io Sky wins, then what the fuck are we doing?
yeah.
I am impressed though. They had Io Sky hold the belt for this long.
Me
I thought-
too.
Like she kind of deserves it too.
Yeah, it was a good it was a good change for a little while. It gave someone else on the roster some credit, but they have a lot of women right now. They got to drop that belt immediately.
Yeah, agreed.
So, next one up, Intercontinental Championship, Gunther versus Sami Zayn. I think I already got your pick. It was Gunther from earlier, correct?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the same.
The story buildup wasn't that good.
I'm gonna do the same. I do think that something's gonna go on with Chad Gable, and that's why they keep involving him in. Maybe I think he might cost Sami Zayn the match, and then the next pay-per-view, probably Payback or something. They'll probably make a triple threat with that. Maybe.
Can we give Chad Gable a shout out? Because I thought this dude's career was dead when Jason Jordan suffered that like neck injury.
Dude is so good.
He was terrible on the mic. And he found a way with the whole thank you. Like
Thank you.
how
Thank
he
you.
figured it out. Kudos to him, dude.
He's good.
fucking
And he's probably one of the best wrestlers that they have.
He's like what Shelton Benjamin was. You know what I mean? Like best wrestler, but like the peak is like the IC.
Grapple game is there. Grapple
Yeah.
game is there
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. He's still got a little bit of step too.
He does.
He's never won a singles title.
I know, because it was
Ever.
always him and Jason. That tag team was awesome. Him and Jason Jordan was, but Jason Jordan was like clearly the better one, but it was still awesome.
Fucking.
They tried
Jason
giving Jason Jordan that push. You remember he was like Kurt Angle's
Yeah,
son.
Kurt Angle's son. Yeah, that's so stupid.
Yeah, Daddy.
That was definitely fucking Vince right in that one.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was so cringy.
Yeah.
But I Gunther wins, but it's on some shit. I think Chad Gable gets involved and costs Sammy the match, and then Gunther wins that way.
I was telling TJ not too long ago, we need some build-up match where it's like IC Intercontinental title versus WWE champion. Whether it's
I don't want to see that shit.
you don't want to see a merger there.
I don't want to see that shit. I would have liked to see Gunther versus Roman. But I didn't want they were talking about that match for a while for the titles. Don't do that. That's stupid. That's dumb. Then you lose another title. Then you have the same problem that we just had because they're not taking the title off of Gunther. They're not taking the title off of Roman. You're gonna have the same fucking problem. So now I got a question for you: who takes the fucking title off of Gunther? He squashed everybody.
I don't know because it's supposed to be like a mid-card type thing. You know what I mean?
They should have gave it to Gable. They should have gave it to Chad.
Yes. I agree.
Because that storyline was great. They had a great match, and that would have been the way to get the title off him, make Gunther not look as bad. Then you could have had Gunther challenge Cody after WrestleMania or something like that, or in between, or even you could have challenged Roman in that time. But still, who takes the title off this guy now? It's not going to be Sammy. If it's Sammy, I'm shocked, honestly.
I doubt it ever happens, but it wouldn't surprise you in the least if for some reason they had Damian Priest cash in on Gunther. I don't see it happening, but I'm just saying that's
even tease that a little bit
scenario. But that'd be really stupid.
It could be. It could be. But he's made it clear that he wants to be world champion.
Yeah,
for that cash in.
I'm just trying to think of ideas because, like you said, he's blown through everybody. There's no one left.
There's nobody. You know what? There's one more guy, LA Knight, maybe, but he's on a different brand.
He's on SmackDown, yeah.
What if they do a draft? They do draft pretty much.
When they brought the draft back, it was awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea.
Sami Zayn will lose more credibility after this WrestleMania.
Yeah, that sucks. Sucks for him.
It does.
What do you think about the brother versus brother? Jay versus Jimmy.
Love it.
Ooh. So.
Love it. No yeet.
I
think that Jay got so popular that I can't see Jimmy winning. Unless Solo gets involved, which, by the way, he's hasn't won a match in a year, which is crazy. The build up for him was crazy.
Yeah.
I just don't see Jimmy beating Jay because Jay's got more popularity than Jimmy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I just don't see it. I mean, they kind of screwed up on this match too. This match had a lot of potential, months and months ago. They probably should have just did it earlier or started the build up later, but they started too early. And then they just moved Jay to the other brand and just forgot about it.
Well,
so nobody cares
they
now.
Started at Royal Rumble and it didn't pick up till after the Elimination Chamber.
No. I'm talking about even before, right before he switched brands.
Yeah.
Which was almost a year ago.
Yeah.
So they all knew they were doing this match at WrestleMania, so that's why they put him on the other brand to buy some time.
Right.
So then everybody lost interest. So who cares?
Yeah, this match definitely needs to be talked about enough.
For sure. For sure. All right, let's see. Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch.
If they have Becky Lynch beat her, then this is fucking bullshit.
What do you have?
I said if they have Becky Lynch beat her, it's such bullshit. I don't want to see Becky Lynch anymore. I'm the whole man thing. When she changed her personality, she had that weird ass haircut of hers. I lost a lot of interest in Becky Lynch, and not to mention too, I think she's supposed to take some time off to be with family, because it makes sense. we'll get to the other prediction, but it makes sense for her to take some time off, be with the family, be with the baby, and Rhea retains.
I agree.
Rhea's status is way too high right now for her to drop.
Way too high.
Like, she's got to lose it to a Jade or a Bianca.
Yeah, it has to be. I think what they're doing is they wanted to do this match, but the last like probably month you see Becky, competing in a shit ton of matches. And I think they're trying to build up her credit again so Rhea looks stronger beating her. And like your dad just said, yeah, her contract's up soon.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's no way. And so is Seth too. His contract's up soon too.
Right.
So
he'll be back. We know he'll be back.
There's no fucking way they shift. There's no way. Like, they don't give me that vibe to shift.
Yeah.
And they're too over in WWE to leave.
We need
Anyway.
that Seth Rollins CM Punk feud. We know this. Seth
absolutely.
We need that.
We just need Seth in general. Like, he's been carrying WWE for a few years at least.
He really bounced back from that whole Messiah thing. You remember that Messiah thing?
Yeah.
It was bad, and he really bounced back big time.
A very good transition into his newer character, for sure. But yeah, that was weird. But that was like, he was fucking ruthless at that time. Because remember when he took out Rey Mysterio's eye at WrestleMania? Like, do you remember that? Yeah, like he threw up. He threw up. There was like no fans there because it was during COVID, so they were in the fucking performance center trying to make that shit look as real as possible.
Yeah.
Wow, that was crazy.
Eye patch. That was sick, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was nuts. I got Rhea retaining also. Yeah, you're right. She's too over right now. I don't know who's gonna beat her. It's gonna be a Jade or a Bianca or something like that. Even Charlotte again. But I mean, I don't see it. I don't see it right now.
Maybe Tiff.
I like Tiff time.
I'm a big fan.
It's Tiffy time. What do they call it? The most beautiful backflip or something? That's
incredible.
her finishing move. Yeah.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, they better not fucking ruin her too.
They won't because she's too pretty.
Next one. World Heavyweight Championship. Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. What do you got?
What is this? The third time for McIntyre? Right?
Third time.
Third time's a charm. Drew deserves it. Drew carried the pandemic era. He carried the no crowds for the longest time. He deserves that moment. And I'm kind of pissed it didn't happen at Clash at the Castle. He deserved to beat Roman then. He deserves this belt. This is the right time. The last two times, I wasn't a fan of him winning. This is the right time for him to win. He has to win. And this will probably be on night 2 because you got Seth and Cody versus The Rock and Roman.
100%.
So this probably will be night 2.
100%.
He has to win this belt. He has to take down Seth. It's his time.
I agree. His character is way too good right now. And like we said, Seth, his contract's up soon. I think he needs a little bit of time off to nurse his injuries. You know, his service, salute him. He carried the company for almost all last year.
Years,
he needs a break, man. He's probably running on fumes right now. Although I love his character, I want to see him keep going. He just needs a little bit of a break. Give him a couple of months off, then come back fresh. But in this match, I think CM Punk is involved somehow. They hinted at the
Travis. He's joining in somehow. You think it's kind of dumb that both chips are on the second night instead of splitting 1 and 1?
I think it is dumb to have them on the same night, but with the whole shit with The Rock right now in that tag match, they have no choice but to put it on the second night now. Like, they fucked up with this whole thing. I don't think they knew what they were thinking. And I'm shocked that Roman's pulling double duty because he barely wrestles like once every year. So now he's wrestling twice back-to-back nights?
He's doing what Brock Lesnar's been doing for years.
You know he's fucking not happy about that shit either. You know he's probably fucking pissed.
Oh, he's going to go to Hollywood eventually. Maybe soon.
Roman, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah, he's pissed about this shit for sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's it sucks. Like, oh yeah, absolutely. The biggest Raw of the year is coming up. For sure. 'Cause there's gonna be a lot of fucking
Allegedly.
yeah, we'll see.
Because
I
the
mean,
last couple years, Raw after Mania has sucked, bro.
last year was so bad that like they have to do something now. Like they have to have like the biggest one that they had for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, they got to have it like when Bobby Lashley returned to WWE, and there's like two other big things that happen. It's got to be that level. It's got to
Yeah.
be. I don't want to see this NXT like top talent like Kamala Hayes
It-
come in. And like, oh, that's the one. No, I don't want to see that.
It's always something like that. But like I think Sheamus comes back that time, and then maybe even Brock. Maybe they don't just want him at WrestleMania because of all the craziness, but maybe he comes back after.
Yeah, maybe him.
Maybe a cash in for Damian on somebody at that point.
Yeah, guess we'll have the IC match with the Seth Drew match. But then Seth's competing a couple hours later. That's the weird part about it.
Yeah, that's another reason too.
We're gonna end up watching it. I didn't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, we were talking about the Bray documentary earlier.
Yeah,
and
I already saw the thing on social media. I don't want to expose it. I'm not gonna be that guy. In case people.
Yeah, please don't, and I'm just gonna have to end you. Sorry.
Say nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, night 2 is going to be crazy because now we do have that match, and like I said, I think CM Punk maybe like it would be sick if he's a special guest referee. That'd be pretty cool. Because like, what is it? Who is he gonna? You know, it'll be funny. Like that whole segment the other day on Raw last week.
He can't even count to 3.
Yeah, that was a great segment with all 3 of them. So if they have like a him as the referee, that'd be pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That'd be awesome.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun to see. But I think Drew walks away with it too.
What if he did? What if he did like what The Rock did like years ago? 1, 2,
and just holds it.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah. He was already talking shit about The Rock, CM Punk.
Oh yeah, of course he was. He hates The Rock, bro.
I know.
I mean, he lost his belt to The Rock. That was kind of fucked up. They made him lose the belt to The Rock at Royal Rumble. That was fucked up.
Yeah. Speaking of The Rock, what do you think about that tag team match? Him and Roman versus Cody and Seth, night 1.
So, if Cody
I have no idea.
If Cody and Seth loses, then it's Bloodline rules at WrestleMania 2, night 2. But if Cody and Seth win, then there's no Bloodline at all. But we all know that's not to be true because they'll come out in some sort of fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And this is The Rock fighting. I feel like Roman and The Rock win night 1. I think they win night 1. And I think that because they're going to, because if Cody does win with Seth, then it's the same thing over again. The 2, the fuck's his finisher called? The 2 crossroads, and then Solo comes out, and then he hits the spike, Roman spears him, and instead of the 3 count, they'll kick out a 2. And then from there, it's like however it transpires. Because The Rock doesn't have another match night 2. That's why I think I'm looking at a Rock perspective. Like The Rock didn't lose to Cena the first time they faced off at WrestleMania, which he should have. It should have put Cena over because he was active. That's what I think is going to end up happening. But I feel like I'm going to give away my other prediction if I tell you like why I think they're going to win too.
All right. Well, if you want, I can give you mine, and then we can go. That we're going to transition into that match next. So I'm on the fence. This might be the craziest match we've ever seen. Because like number one, we have no idea what's happening.
This is awesome. This is what I want. I don't want it to be like it's so clear, like it's one side. This is awesome.
Yeah, and I'm happy we don't have to wait till night 2 to see this. This is night 1.
Arguably, Bose, this prediction here is like what we have for Rock and Cena WrestleMania 27 or 28, whatever it was. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. This is awesome.
Yeah. I think there's a chance Cody and Seth win, and this is why. This is why. So this is my like weird like theory. So hypothetically, Cody, Seth win. no bloodline involved. But then somebody that's not in the bloodline can get involved in the match on night 2. And guess who's not in the bloodline anymore? Who was in the bloodline?
Talking about Sammy?
No.
You're not talking about Jay.
Jey Uso turning on Cody, going back to Roman. Kind of crazy, right?
That is
Almost crazy that it might work. Because remember, Cody brought him to Raw.
Yeah.
He was friends with him for a while.
Yeah.
He's not in the bloodline. He said he's out of the bloodline. Maybe. If Cody wins, there's no way not going to be any interference in that match. There's going to be interference, whether it's bloodline or someone else. Someone's going to be involved in that match.
Right.
So no matter who wins. So that's why, like, I think if they win, that could be a possibility. But like you said, there's no way The Rock's not going to be involved in night 2 also. But like that's the same song and dance we saw last year. We saw the whole bloodline involved with the match. We don't want to see that shit again. You know, something's got to change.
I'm so tired of fucking seeing that, dude. Seriously.
That's what I'm saying.
annoying.
So like, are they gonna just let that happen again? Like, we don't want to see that. We want to see a one-on-one match. Or we want to see something different. We don't want to see Solo coming in with his hood on from the stands. We don't know he's there, and then coming in and fucking having Paul Heyman stand on the ropes and distract the ref while he just fucking spikes him like he didn't see him coming.
Mhm.
It's the same shit every time.
Mhm.
So there's no way they're gonna do that shit again. It can't be, right? Or they just have fucking The Rock just go crazy the whole match and fuck with him. So
Yeah.
But then then Cody's gonna have some guys that come through. If that happens, if Bloodline happens, then Cody's gonna have some type of backup in that match too. And who's that gonna be?
This is why I wish Goldust wasn't under contract with AEW.
I know that's a good
Oh,
idea. That'd be a good idea.
Goldust coming in, just like save whether it's Goldust or Dust, like his old character. I don't care. This would be awesome. But like it's like you said, who does he have for backup? Because how much could he really trust Seth? Because when they made the team for War Games, I hate you, but it's for the right cause.
Yeah.
So like, what if Seth turns on him night 1, or what if Seth turns on him night 2? Like,
yeah, but depending on what happens night 1, say if Seth is pissed that they lost,
right? Then
he doesn't come in and help him the night 2.
But
so who helps
that's
him?
What I'm saying is maybe he turns on Cody night 1.
That's what I'm saying too.
Because I have them losing. So if he turns on him night 1, he's not going to turn him again night 2. You know what I mean?
Maybe. That's why night 1, like, that tells everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
But like, I really don't know. I mean, it has to be Rock and Roman, right?
I think it does. And I think because of that reason, we might as well go right to that next match, right?
Sure.
Is there any other matches we got to break down, or is that the last one?
I think that's it.
That's perfect. That's a perfect way to end it then. So Cody versus Roman, round 2, WrestleMania 40. Rock and Roman win night 1. And like I said, I could see it happening again where, you know, he does the 2 crossroads. Solo does the same thing. Roman spears him, but this time it's a 2 count. I could see somewhere where Seth steps in right as Cody's about to win. He steps in potentially, and he screws over Cody and does that Seth Rollins laugh, and he turns heel again. But then right as Roman's about to win, maybe it's The Rock coming in to count the 3 because he'll abuse his power because he's the director of the boards. But then he stops. Maybe he does that. It doesn't matter if The Rock counts to 3 or something. And we see him do the Rock Bomb or the People's Elbow. And Cody, you know, maybe takes advantage. I don't know. But it doesn't make sense to have Cody lose twice. Because if you do, Cody's stock goes from here way down. He loses everything. Every bit of credibility.
Well, it's not just him. Like, the fans are going to be fucking outraged if he loses again.
A lot of them were already pissed off last year. I was pissed off. I thought last year was this has to be the year.
Yeah, but you got everybody back now. You got probably a lot of people that used to watch wrestling it back because of The Rock right now.
Yep. Yep.
Like you can't fumble that twice.
No.
They did it once. But I could see it happening. I really can. I really can. It
See what
sucks.
happened.
I could see them. I could see Roman winning.
Oh,
I'm predicting Cody.
okay.
I could
But
see
yeah, I agree with
Roman
you.
winning.
Right. Like that's still in your peripheral vision. Like you could definitely
So
see.
at first, everyone's talking about, oh, we think The Rock is going to turn on Roman, and then they're going to fight at like SummerSlam or something like that.
Mhm.
But this is why I don't think that's going to happen anymore, is because The Rock is like, and we thought like there was a plan for Rock and to help Cody win the title, but The Rock is literally killing Cody on Raw like last week, like talking shit about his mom.
I'm
Like,
a road.
there's no way he's gonna fucking help him win the title. You know what I mean? That makes no sense,
So
right?
here's- So if it's not The Rock that helps him, which I think he does, which I think Travis here thinks he does, yeah, Bloodline wins, then Rock turns on Roman in the chip match, lock it in. So if it's
See,
not,
like,
The
that's what I
Rock that helps him,
thought.
it's
That's
not
what-
Seth, it's not Jay, it's not Goldust. Is it MJF?
No way. I think, it's gonna have to be Rock, right? I mean, nobody else makes sense.
It has to be Rock because every other scenario I threw out there, like Seth and Jay will go after Solo and Jimmy. That cancels out the Bloodline right there. Because I don't think The Rock's going to be if The Rock is to help, it's towards the end. Like he's not going to be ringside. I don't feel like.
But
So if The Rock
Cody's
doesn't-
gonna need some help. Who is gonna help him?
That's what I'm saying. That's why
It's
the
not
only
gonna be
person that
Seth
comes
because Seth loses
No.
his title that night. He's not coming back out. Then we're
No.
not gonna see him again. So it's Seth is out. Maybe Jay.
I hate you, TJ. I fucking hate you.
I have no idea.
Jeez.
Or also like, some people are talking about this, and then this is kind of like an Easter egg from Monday Night Raw, where they showed in the back of the Rock thing the picture of Cena and Austin. Did you see that?
Yes.
So people were talking about Cena and Austin coming back to help Cody take down the Bloodline.
Oh, yo. So if The Rock came out to help Roman, you got Austin coming out and oh.
Imagine.
Wow. This is
And I heard rumors of Austin kind of being interested in working WrestleMania.
He's definitely in shit. We saw him and Kevin Owens. He didn't look bad. He was taking
He-
suplexes on concrete.
He would come through. Dude,
So
imagine if we see Cena and fucking
Austin working together.
and Austin come out.
Ambrose doesn't return. 0 chance.
Yeah, no way. I wish.
Me too, but no
wish.
chance.
But yeah, that would be crazy too. Like
Cena
I just,
versus The Rock and Roman.
yeah. I mean, we both know there's gonna be some fuckery in this match.
And I can't wait to see what it is.
Me too. But I mean, Cody should retain
Cody
or
has-
not retain the win. But,
TJ, I know you can hear me. He has to finish the story.
he has to finish the story. He has to.
You're right, Trev. There has to be.
Surprise promo. Who do we think for a surprise promo?
I don't know. Man.
Hulk Hogan?
Maybe. Maybe.
I think he's gonna be there.
Because I mean, Hogan's the only one that probably faced, the Dusty Rhodes and the ancestors for, it's probably is Hogan.
Yeah.
DX been a while. I don't think DX gets involved because I don't know. What
You mean Regeneration X?
Generation X? Yeah.
Dude, I can't believe R-Truth pulled how does he pull that off to be funny?
I don't know, but when he's making Pat McAfee laugh like that, you're doing something right. You're doing something.
You think Pat comes out for another match because he always does that?
Not this year. No, I don't think so. I think he's kind of happy with what he's done. You know what I mean? He faced Vince McMahon. He got stunned by Austin, which if you listen to the show, they're always doing the what?
Yeah.
I
agree.
think he's just good, not just as a promo cut. What he said,
Mhm.
not just a promo cut, not involved in the match itself. Yeah, maybe Hogan.
Yeah, I heard he might be there.
Hogan is going to be there.
He'll probably come out and like do the opening segment or like come out and like at some point and announce the attendance.
There is a good chance, Trev. I agree with you. That could potentially be, but like in terms of wrestling match, I agree with Travis. Like that probably will be the best.
Yeah. So
match.
while he brought that up, what do you think is going to be the best match of night 1, night 2, or in general the whole WrestleMania?
If I knew the order, I'd be able to say night 1, night 2 will be the best.
Well, what match do you think is going to be the best?
Let's say Triple Threat is on night 1. I might give that the edge over the tag team match. I feel like the tag team match will be more shit talking than it will be like wrestling in general. Night 2, it's got to be Cody and Roman. It has to be the best.
Yeah,
it has to be.
I honestly think that I don't think it's going to be the best match, but I think that the 6-pack tag team match is going to be pretty crazy because there's going to be some pretty crazy spots in there. I think, but honestly, they don't really have any high flying guys in that match.
That's the unfortunate part.
It's
a ladder match. Finn Balor's our highest flyer, but he's not like that.
Yeah, but he can't really do that shit anymore. He's too injury prone.
Yeah.
Like a Ricochet should have been in that match. You know, like something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Roman Cody is going to be the best match of the night or WrestleMania. I'm kind of pissed that we have literally all the same prediction. Like all the same, like for every single match, we chose the same side.
Oh shit! They got the night 2 card announced. So night 2, who the fuck's the Pride versus the Final Testament?
Oh, that's the Bobby Lashley's in the Street Profits.
Oh, so they are going to do that because I heard they weren't going to do that for us. That
just announced that like an hour ago.
I wish they built that up better. This is the push that Karrion Kross needs to.
That's been going on for like 3 months.
I know, but I don't feel like it's been pushed like correctly because it's been like in and out.
Ass. They're all ass.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Lashley should not be running a faction because number one, he's better solo.
Yes.
And the Street Profits they lost out from that.
Dawkins has got to go. Montez Ford, like really.
He's got to be single star.
Why didn't they have them in it? Because Montez Ford do some crazy shit in that ladder match with.
Well, because they wanted to do this stupid match with the Final Testament. That's why they were in the tournament thing.
I hate that name too. The Final Testament.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
Karrion Kross is just a wash. He's done.
Yeah.
He had talent in NXT, but
they ruined it.
Like sometimes the NXT talent, that shit just doesn't work. You know, like it just doesn't work.
Aaron Corbin's been in NXT. He's been awesome in NXT compared to the main roster.
Yeah, but he's had success on the main roster. They just have nothing to do with him.
Yeah, no. So that's one of the matches for night 2. Then you got LA Knight versus AJ Styles on night 2.
Fuck.
Then you got Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton on night 2. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Io Sky and Bayley, Roman versus Cody. So night 1.
Damn, night 2 is stacked.
Night 2 is stacked.
That's ass.
Night 1. Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee versus Dom and Santos.
I forgot about that match. We didn't talk about that. Irrelevant, anyways.
It is kind of irrelevant because it's kind of all last minute again. Gunther, Sami Zayn, the tag match. Jade, Bianca, Naomi versus Damage Control. Jimmy and Jay, Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch will be night 1, and then the tag match.
Boo! I hate night 1.
Yeah, night 1 is going to be.
I'm just going to turn it on at the end.
I mean, night 1. I mean, I'll be watching more so UConn than WrestleMania night 1, if I'm being honest.
What time is UConn at? Did they come out and say it?
8:49.
Oh, come on.
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah. Dude,
do you know do that shit?
They make it to the championship. Do you know what time their game is Monday night?
Probably 9 o'clock, 9:30.
9:40.
Nice.
Like I was saying it earlier in the show, like everybody at my job will come in Tuesday. We're all gonna be like,
yeah,
dead.
That sucks.
We started work at fucking 5:30. We're all gonna be fucking dead.
Oh,
there might
boy.
be a shit ton of talks.
Oh man.
Yeah, so those are the cards right there.
Those are the cards. We walk through the matchups. We have literally we picked every single match the same.
I'm shocked. I thought we would have had a difference in some.
Well, that's what I mean. Maybe we're wrong. If we're wrong, we're both wrong.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy is like we keep talking like this is the way we're looking, but we could see this other scenario where in the past it's like boom and let's move on and just like enjoy WrestleMania.
Well, Vince isn't in charge anymore, so he won't change the decision on the fly like he usually does. So.
I'll tell you, when the Royal Rumble came around, I didn't expect CM Punk to win. I didn't expect Cody to win. I thought they were going to have Gunther win it because that next night he cut that promo against Seth. Like, I'll see you down the line.
Yeah. I don't know.
Surprise return Brock apology.
That'd be nice. Imagine. Oh my God. I think he comes back Raw after WrestleMania.
He has to. Yeah,
I mean, like you said, he's on the roster right now, technically. But they just don't want to get him involved right now. This crazy weekend. Then this has all the publicity. They don't want to add him in there and then have a big mess after that,
right? And
ruin the whole weekend. So that's why I think he'll be there after.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's our WWE preview for WrestleMania. Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Did you want to touch base really quick on baseball, and then I definitely got to get off after that.
Yeah, I'm ready to rock. Honestly, that killed me. That was a lot. I told you that was going to be a long episode.
Yeah, a lot of editing here. A lot of editing.
Yeah,
a lot. That episode, but yeah, I agree. Definitely a great segment there. We definitely killed it with the whole WWE talk. Yeah, we'll definitely have to when we got those major pay-per-views, we're definitely have to collab and do that again.
Yeah.
Hopefully Travis doesn't have fucking, I don't know, syphilis or whatever. Whatever
nice.
The fuck. Hopefully you're feeling better, Travis.
I miss you, bud. Miss you.
It would have been great to have you.
Just so you know, we didn't dive in, so we just jumped.
No, I belly flopped. Bo said I couldn't use my feet, and he advised me not to use my head, so I belly flopped. I was in Florida.
Oh man! All right, man.
It's fucked up, bro.
Well, I'm gonna head out of here. All the Hot Shot Highlight listeners, thank you for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one with Trav. Hopefully, he'll be back and alive, and not leave me with Robbie. So.
All right. Well, what the hell's that? Oh, thank you, Dad. Here's to Hogan this weekend. Oh, it's a fucking Hulk Hogan. Jesus Christ. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. All right, Bose. It was a pleasure, my friend.
All right, Robbie. Thanks for collabing with me.
Yes, sir. We'll do this again sometime, my friend.
All right, later, man.
Later, dude. All right, Bo. All right, that was Mr. Bose there. Everybody, we'll be back next Monday with the Sports Cave. I didn't get a chance to really break down baseball or the NFL. We'll carry that into next Monday's episode along with the other news. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks to Bose for coming in. We'll be back next Monday. Zach will be here. We will we'll definitely be done before the national championship game if UConn is to make it. Hopefully they do make it. Great start for the New York Yankees. Great start for the Pittsburgh Pirates. NFL, a lot going on, and we'll preview all that next week. But until then, folks, I will now do the Zachary Roden outro, which is thank you, motherfuckers, for tuning in to another episode. This is the Sports Cave, and we will be back next Monday, live and living color, 6:30, Twitch, YouTube. Be there. And as Zach would say, stay sexy, Sports Cave.